Welcome to the Legged Podcast, episode 20 with myself, Andy Grant.
Myself, Tom Wickstead.
And this episode we have Jazza Dickens. Welcome to the podcast, mate.
Thanks for having me, lads.
Thanks so much for this.
So I feel like the podcast is growing now because now people are contacting us and saying, you need to get this person on, you need to get that person on. So a friend of Jazz's says, messaged me and said, you need to get Jazza on. Reached out to him and here you are.
Yep, here I am. I've watched a few of them now. The last few nights since they told me about it. My mate said you need to get into these podcasts. It's the British Joe Rogan.
No, don't say that. Put no pressure on us now.
Been watching them and really enjoying them.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, from day dot, we've always just said that even if no one listened to them or watched them, like just to be in the room of certain people, of who, you know, including yourself and previous guests we've had on, it's just like fucking brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
So even if no one listens to it, I mean, obviously over the past, like, we've been doing it now since the 10th of Feb, but we did some pre-recorded episodes. It's just gone from strength to strength, you know, and people sharing it and just people getting in touch. I mean,
you forget as well, though, like that. I mean, your story, you know, and the level you've got to in boxing, it's not a normal thing. Like,
yeah.
Well, you probably think it is normal, but to 99% of the world, no one probably knows many professional boxers and hears their story of what it's like day in, day out, and their own individual battles and struggles and that. So even that alone, it's...
I find that people always got questions, not like when you meet a jockey, a real life horse jockey, it's like, don't you should like a myth, you know what I mean? Yeah. People always got questions. If you go anywhere, like, nowhere there's a crowd, I don't go to parties, but it's like, you go to a family house, it's always, the questions are always on you, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just end up answering the same because you've already answered to the last place you went to, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are the same questions that you get asked, like?
Yeah, what,
is it like, does it hurt?
I always get, was Rigonzo really that good? Everywhere I go, is he really that good? Because the fellow who boxed, he beat me. That's one of the most questions you get asked. But you seem to get asked about your losses more than the hard times, more than the good. You know what I mean? So you'll never pump your ego and say, what was that win like? It's like getting battered.
What was it like getting knocked out there? Yeah. Does that like, does that bother you? Is that like, is it annoying? Is it or
no? Because you can't take it personal. You've got to set they are the fans. Do you know what I mean? They want to know, don't they? Your experience is for them. If that makes they're the audience, so you've got to.
You know, I've never thought of that like that. Yeah, because you'd never go to a footballer, would you? What was it like getting beaten in that final? You'd go, what was it like to win this, wouldn't you?
Yeah. They're the audience, so you've got to sort of you've got to just tell them, haven't you? I'd be grateful that they watched it, you know what I mean? The other day I got tagged in a video, so I'm sitting there going, oh, what's this? Is this my knockout from last week? And it was me getting my jaw broken.
Oh mate, I watched that video. I saw that video.
It's just like, and you do think, well, why would you, if I'm sitting in nowhere, what are you doing sending me that? But as you're in boxing and people are fans, you just go with it, you know what I mean? Nice one for that.
Hey, that must have been hard to do with that though, like, we talk about when you started, but I mean, just on that note, have you found, me and Tom always going about a load, social media, have you found, with the kind of last few years of social media that's got bigger and bigger, and you being in the sport, is it difficult when people are, I don't know, you're getting shit off people, or people are giving you, like, tagging you in that?
It's mad because I never get no negativity, like, I don't know why, but I never get it.
Yeah.
I never get it, I never have really. But boxing has changed. I think I've been professional for 9 years, nearly 10, so I've been through like two waves, two different generations of boxing. When I turned pro, you had to win an ABA title to get a professional contract. Now it's about social media. So people selling tickets off posters when I first started, and the media weren't so big, but now it's a different game. But I sort of suited me. If I turn pro with the social media, I think it's suited me more. But I never seem to get no negativity. As that was the original question before. I'll do that a lot today. I'll just go off on one.
That's good, man.
The question was like, no, I never really get no negativity. But if I do, I always say, you've got to learn some way of coping, haven't you? So because you can't just say, oh, this is too much for me, I'm backing off. So you've got to learn some way to cope. And for me, it was, maybe I don't know where I got it from, but it was like, if you're getting if you're getting nice messages, you're doing good. But if you're getting bad messages, you're doing great. That's how I deal with it. Do you know what I mean? So the more negativity comes from people you don't know, how does he know me and why is he messaging me? Why is he even thinking about me? That must be a good thing. So that's how I see it now. If you're getting bad messages, you're doing great. Because I have to find a positive outlook on everything. But I don't. It turns out I'm only doing okay because they're all nice right now.
That's hard. It's hard.
You're not getting okay yet.
I can't wait till you all start giving me hate.
Yeah. No, that's a big thing. That is it Winston Churchill said something like, when you've got enemies, you know you've done something great or something. I think that is a quote. Like a.
It's a hard balancing act, that, though, I imagine. You know, if you were getting shit every single day, you know, it surely gets to you.
It's got to, you're human being, unless you've got a really strong outlook and you just take it with a pinch of salt.
Or you just don't look at the messages, but then it's hard not to do that, or... I mean, do you read every single...
millions, isn't it? Because you can you can sort of say thanks for the comments and the money, but you just get bad comments.
Does that thing on social media, does that frustrate you? Because I'll be honest, I'm not a huge, I couldn't tell you who the champion is in every division. I know bits, but I think it happens more in the UFC. Maybe you can tell me if I'm wrong. But that kind of idea of fights are getting made through social media rather than talent. It's like, for example, look at Conor McGregor, like trash talking and stuff like that. Is that happening as much in boxing?
Yeah, same thing as in boxing. See Floyd Mayweather. You know, no one's the money he makes. No one's that good, are they? Or are they? Why isn't everyone making that much money? There's some level of difference. The money he's made. So the trash talk has definitely got him made him that much money. But
do you think then, because you're
sales, where I find it's a bit tough because I don't go out and bevy, but if I did, I'd sell a lot more tickets because you'd socialise with people and you'd meet people on the weekends and they'd say, oh, we'll come to fight, and they'd make a night of it. I'd probably treble my ticket sales, but I don't stay disciplined and I just live in one bedroom, go out and train, come back, go out and train Groundhog Day and put myself to real fighting. Therefore, I don't sell as many tickets, but then you see fighters who are getting big opportunities because they go out and they sell tickets by interacting, by not doing the right thing as a fighter, if that makes sense. That's where I find it unfair.
It's essentially just networking, that's what they're doing, isn't it?
Yeah, networking.
Basically.
Yeah.
Old school selling tickets.
Undisciplined networking, you know?
Do you just not drink because you just don't want to get involved in that sort of like, it's just ultimately bad for you? Or is it you just don't want to be around that sort of like...
I've seen what like addiction can do, and I've grown up around addiction with my parents, so it's like I do believe whatever I do because of them. I'm just that type of person. I'll just take it to the extreme, positive or negative. So I knew drinking wasn't one of the things that I can do if I wanted. I was lucky to find nowhere everyone like. There's a lot of things on social media now, isn't there? Like you need to find what you love in life and do it, and everything's changed. I think everyone's getting a bit of awareness what. Not being on that conveyor belt, the slave mentality. But I think it's easier said than done if you find something early and you can grow up into it, which I did, which was boxing. But not everyone finds that. I was lucky enough to find that when I was young. So 12, 13, 14, I was just training hard, and then my mates got into the Charlie and the drinking and all that. So I already had the awareness from my parents, don't go down that route.
Yeah.
But what happens if you're already gone down that route, just doing the same as your mates? Then you can't do something you love because you've lost them years, what you needed to... I turned pro at 19, and I was already half on my way, so... What was the your question?
I think you're going to make a good point then, mate, yeah. I mean, I think with that whole kind of, you know, you growing up and you find something, I do agree with find something you love and all that, but I have this argument with my dad all the time. He's 54, my dad. He's about to retire from the fire brigade, and I always say, like, come on, you know, you need to get the gym, you need to do this, you need to do that. But he's so far in his way, and he's got his ways, and he'll moan about this and moan about that. You know, I'm in the gym 5 times a week, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And he's like, and because I'm lucky enough, I've got a job I love, and I don't look at it as work, and I've got these hobbies like this and friends and stuff, and he's kind of past that, and he's done that 30 years of hard graft and a job he doesn't really like, and it's difficult. We don't fall out, but you can tell he gets pissed off when I'm trying to preach to him, and he's like, don't fucking need your negativity, your
Like, it's easy for
positivity.
you to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I actually watched I watched the podcast, one of the episodes where he was talking about that, and it made me think, I wonder what it's like to do that, because all I know and all I've had to provide is boxing. So I've tried other things when I was younger, but I actually did make me think when you said that, what is it like then to do the Groundhog Day of something that you don't want to do, you know, when you haven't got that love for your job. So
I read it. I think it was a crazy statistic. There was
because you only ever hear people who have got a goal, don't you?
Yeah.
So like you never hear, I've had a terrible day. How's your day been? It's always, if you had a nice day, because I have. You ask how you feel, don't you? It's like,
yeah, that's a great.
There was
point,
a crazy stat in it. I think it was in the US, and it was something like 75%. It was around 75% of people don't enjoy what they do. So, you know, considering that people have gone through university, doing a lot of courses that they don't really know, spend all that money on university or whatever, to then get a quarter chance that they might enjoy something versus 3/4 they won't. You know, it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that 75% of the people are sheep and they never knew what they were going to do? Or
Possibly, yeah. The problem is, it's like, it's as soon as, I think, I'm 26, but I think when you start to get to that level, maybe 25, 26, it's starting to get to the tipping point where, like late 20s, where you can make a flip decision, go, fuck it, I want to do something completely different. Whereas, look, I don't have kids, I do have a mortgage, so that's like sort of playing on the back of my mind in some respects. But like late 20s, I think is the tipping point. After that, you're along for the ride. You're tied into a pension.
yeah,
I had this argument with my sister. It was a year or two ago. She was in a job that she didn't really want to do, and she was debating whether to leave. And I said, "You need to leave now if you're going to leave, because you've got no kids, no job, no mortgage, no kids. You're not tied down for anything." I said, "Imagine how hard it'll be to leave in 10 years when you've got 2 kids and you've got to provide." I said, "You know, you need to, like you say, you were lucky you got it when you were 12, 13, 14. It is difficult to try and."
We had Jamie
inspire people who were maybe, like you say, mid-20s, 30s, 40s.
How do you inspire people like that? How? Like, there's got to be a way, Andy, but how do you...
I find with the speaking that I do, going to companies, and this isn't the final answer, but I do think when I go in and do my talks, it's a bit like an adrenaline shot. Like, I get people following me then back on social media, and people will say, "Oh, Andy, you give me that kick up the arse I needed, and it's made me open my eyes to this, and it's that, and I've just started running now, and I've signed up for a marathon." And you think, that's great, you know, but how long does that last for?
Long, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because then reality then hits again, and it's like, well, I am still in this job that I don't like, or...
70% of people hate their job.
Monday morning is a lot different to Saturday night, isn't it?
I don't know how true that statistic is. It did say 70% then, so I don't know where it's come from, but still, fucking hell. And that's in the US, so I don't know what it is in the UK, but still, 70% of people don't enjoy what they do for 40 to 60 hours a week out of...
And how old are you now, Jazza?
28.
And would you say you're loving boxing as much as ever?
It, yeah. Well, yesterday, where was I? I was doing something, I just dropped my kids off at school. And I'm thinking, I can't wait to get to the gym. I just love the place. You know what I mean? I love boxing. I can't wait to get to the gym. And that's where I am, but I know I'm very lucky also. But I do believe I'm making myself that person in anything. Do you believe that 85% of them people also have a choice to... Do you think you can force yourself to love what you do? Because I love burpees. People say no one loves burpees. I have to do them burpees, so therefore I made myself love burpees by mentality. Do you believe you can do that?
I do, yeah. I think... But not everyone. I think everyone can in that sense, but not everyone's got that mindset, if that makes sense. So I think a strong mindset can overcome anything, and it can make you love burpees, whatever it may be. But I don't think it...
But it's like enjoying the process then, isn't it? That process of the burpees is not the actual burpees, it's what comes at the end of it. Yeah. Probably for you. Of
course, yeah. I love the feeling of what I get out of doing burpees. So
not the actual...
yeah, well, that sort of is my mentality, so that makes sense. How I could look forward to
because on your because on your Instagram it said there's a tagline. Is it future world champion? So it's like now it's probably this whole sort of like journey from turning pro at 19 or whatever. All this process we've talked about this before. That is, as hard it is going to the gym and doing all the burpees, and that like that's the process that you enjoy.
Yeah, follow my journey, because me and Miguel have spoke many times about what are we going to do when we've achieved it? What are we going to do then? You know what I mean? And I wouldn't like to feel that. What am I going to do now? Because I've never felt what I'm going to do now, because I've been striving to get what I want since I was 12. So I've never really felt like, what am I going to do now? I've never been in that position in life, which I'm very lucky. But
Mate, just come a little bit closer
I
to
have
the...
heard a lot of people talk about, once you've got your dream, it's over. You need a new one. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
One of my mates years ago, he said this. We were only like quite young. He was like maybe 21, 22, and he said something, and I thought, fucking hell, he's nailed it. And I think he just got a new job, and I said, oh mate, that's brilliant, you know, well done. I said, what's like the kind of end goal? And he went, you know what, mate, I don't want to have an end goal. I just want to, like, I don't ever want to peak. I just want to kind of always just below and just kind of keep. And I thought, isn't that mad to say the end goal is not to be this? It's just like, I don't know, I just want to
plod along.
And I thought,
forever enjoy. Forever, yeah.
Like, there's one thing me and Tom spoke about. I said, you've got your book now anyway, so you can read about it. But when I got injured, I felt like in the area I grew up in, like Bootle and stuff, the kind of goal was, you know, you get a mortgage, you have a family, you live happily ever after type thing. And when I was kind of early 20s, I got blown up, got a little bit of compensation, you know, not millions, not got enough to buy me a house. And I got pensioned off, so again, enough to just meant I didn't have to work 9 till 5. And you think, fucking hell, it's great, you've nailed it already at 23, 24.
Yeah.
But then it's that kind of, what do you do now? Do you know what I mean? Because your kind of goal, if you like, that you have to just have a family, have a mortgage free or whatever it is, that's normally people only get that when they're 60 or something, when they retire. Yeah. And I found it a massive struggle to think, all right, well, what do I do now?
Well, no, it's not really nice, is it? What now? It's what now? It's like you're sitting on the edge of your bed with your hands in your lips, aren't you?
I always just describe it, if you watch Only Fools and Horses, it was like that moment they become millionaires at the end, and it's like, fucking, you know what you do now. And that's what I like about you. When I've just watched the interviews with you, it's always like, you know, future world, like you've kind of got this. I'm on this journey now. At
one point it said on my bio on the Instagram, dreams of becoming a world champion, and I thought, is that confidence or is that just hopes? You know what I mean? And so that's when I changed it. I will be, you know, I will.
Oh yeah, good point.
Even if I wasn't, I still was. If that makes any sense, in my head I was still striving to be the best, and striving a lot higher than success, like you say. So we haven't got that. What now? You know what I mean? I'm always like I do believe in setting your standards high. People say it, don't they? You can reach for the stars or whatever. But I think you really should, because you don't have to come and face that. What now then? Do you know what I mean? Because you might never achieve it, but at least what you did achieve was still great. You know. You
strike me as someone who's got like who's very assured in the mindset. Like you seem like you've got a very strong mindset. Would you agree? Would you?
Yeah.
You're saying things, mate, that I like kind of. You're answering questions the way I kind of answer them after my motivational talks, about like little kind of bits of philosophy almost. You know what I mean? Like little, like things like you're saying there. You've in your head, you kind of already was. Like week 1, day 1, when I was in the Marines, like, you know, looked like a bag of shit. Didn't know what I was doing or nothing. My buttons were undone. And a corporal came up to me and he was like, Grant, you know, fucking do your button up. And I was like, sorry corporal. And he was like, look, if you look the part, you start to feel the part. If you feel the part, you start to act the part. If you act the part, you know, and it's that process. So even if you, I mean, touch wood, but even if you don't become world champion, in your head, you will live in the life of a world champion anyway.
Yeah.
With your standards.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I say to myself, like, how would a world champion do this? How would a world champion do that? You know what I mean? That's what I say to myself. So I live my life as a world champion, and I already am. That's good. What is this fella?
Mate, we'll clip that. We'll save that clip there. That little that.
I'm in 20 years and I'm sitting in the boozer and I'm on a world title. So I say, I already am a world title, because the work I put in says I am. Do you know what I mean? So I haven't got the right to it if it didn't work that hard, but because I worked that hard, I've got the right to say I am, and I will be. So
does nothing ever creep into your mind, like any sort of doubt at all, or is it all?
I could say no now and put fear into opponents possibly potentially watching me, but of course it does. But
yeah.
So also thoughts creep into my mind because I've made myself that way, is that I won't be beaten. So it's like seeds that you plant.
Mm.
They grow, don't they? And so if you plant them, if you affirm them negative seeds, they grow. So them plants every single day you face them seeds, don't you? Them little plants. Will this be a good day? Looking right, it'll be a good day. I'll make sure it's a good day. And next minute, this is a fucking great day. Even the sun's coming out, it's pissing down with rain, but I can see the sun. Next minute, it's still sunny, so I think so, yeah.
What a cracking attitude to have.
Yeah, me already, I think it's infectious just being around you, man. It's like, I'm thinking this is the reason I've done that, because you do the podcast, because it's like you want to meet people who've got refreshing kind of views of the world, because again, there's so many people who are, this is shit, oh, fucking same thing I done yesterday, whereas again, you meet someone like yourself and it's like, you know what, fucking, it's going to be a good day today.
Yeah, have you ever read you should probably
read The Secret, yeah.
Read The Secret?
No, you mentioned it so many times.
But read The Secret. I've never spoke about it out there and not like that. I've spoken to my mates and that, because people think sometimes people do think you're off your head, don't they? People think, and people can't believe it, it's not real, you know.
Yeah.
There's many things that I don't believe now, but they can be real, because it doesn't mean because I don't believe it's not true. So The Secret, I started reading The Secret, and I say at one part, you've got to commit to this and really believe it. Like, believe it like it's already happened. So I said to myself, I'm going to win the ABA. 18 years old when I started reading this, I'm going to win the ABA title. I'm only 18. It's a championship between 18-year-old boxers to 36. So I was one of the youngest going in it. One of the youngest to ever win it. And so I said, I'm going to go in it. I'm going to win it, but I have to reach high. It can't be coincidence what I achieve. So I said to myself, I'm going to win it, but no one's going to win, not just a fight, a round. No one's going to win a round off me. I'm going to get to the final. The final is going to be in London, but the final hasn't even been announced where it was yet. It's going to be in London. I'm going to go to my Auntie Anne's house, who lives in London, and I'm going to eat. She's going to give me a banoffee pie. So I can't make this happen. This is not like this. If for this to happen, is actually belief. I've had one banoffee pie in my life 10 years earlier. So the coincidence weren't a part of it.
Why a banoffee pie? Why did you?
Because I'd only had one in my life, so I could have said a strawberry tart, and the chances would have been higher. This fella's off his head, really, but this was, so it couldn't have been coincidence. So I went through the competition and I'm not losing a round, and I'm boxing area as well as I'm not losing a round. No one's getting near me. So gets to semi-finals come, quarter-finals come in Newcastle. Wins them. I start finding out that the finals are going to be in London. So I'm saying, right, there's affirmation. It's coming through, me belief. So when I'm running early hours, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm seeing magpies. Oh, I missed one magpie with the other one. So in the end, I'm seeing one magpie every day, and I'm saying to myself, that's good luck, that, because I have to flip it round. Everything has to mean something. So one magpie to me now, where everyone's negativity, it's good luck. One magpie for me is good luck. So get to the semi-final. Where was the semi? Semi was in some town hall somewhere anyway. So wins the semi, still haven't lost a round. And so gets the finals in London, so goes to the final. And everything's coming through just as I planned. And so gets fighting the final, reads the boxing news the morning of the fight. I was the underdog, and I like ton of magazine, cheeky bastards, don't fucking write me off. I've already won it. You just thought about the ABA champion there. So I fight anyway, and I wins the fight. So my dad's with me, so my alpha's made up. So we get on the train. He said to me, "Do you want to go to your Auntie Anne's house instead of going home?" I said, "Okay, yeah." But this is all in. So we're walking. We get off the train. We're walking. He said, "How do you feel, lad?" Because like I just made it history, and I said, "I feel okay, Dad, it feels good, but my law of attraction, it hasn't come true yet." And he went, "What do you mean, you daft bastard?" He's just one of your mates. And I said, "Well, in my head, Dad, I haven't had the banoffee pie." And he's like, "What? You mean the banoffee pie? You haven't had it?" You know, he said, "What are you on about?" And so I told him what I'd been doing all these weeks. It was like a 2-month process, so so he goes, "Oh, like, lad, whatever, I'm happy." So we get to my Auntie Anne's, and she was out, so she went in, so we went to bed, and we're doing 50 press-ups before bed, just eye on the fact that I won the ABAs. Now I'm doing press-ups, but I'm thinking, "God, no banoffee pie." So she was out, and a son Francis' son let me in, so there was no banoffee pie, so I went to bed, and then the door goes, and she comes in, so we go back down for a cup of tea with her, and we watched the fight back on the internet. And then she went, oh, hang on, lad, hang on, I've got something before you go to bed. She goes in the kitchen and comes out with a banoffee.
No.
My dad starts going, and I just looked at my dad and went, because I knew she'd have thought you off your head. But she comes out with the banoffee pie. It was the sweetest cake I've ever had, and that's how I know the law of attraction works. 100%.
Okay,
In my head now, I'm a liar. It's very people thinking, no, yeah, it doesn't. But it does, that's the law of attraction, you know?
No, mate, I think there'll be people listening to that story, and some people will be like me thinking, nah, that happened, that's believable. And there'll be other people who'll be like, what the fuck's you on about? Do you know what I mean? Like, listen to that podcast this week, fucking Jazz is talking about Monopoly fight. Like, no, honestly, I do believe that, mate. There's tons of stories like that for me that have happened like that.
Is the?
Yeah, not as like specific as that, but like just things, and I've just thought, I knew that would work out. I just knew that would happen.
Yeah.
Who wrote The Secret? What is
the band her name is?
She's an Australian woman, isn't she?
Yeah. I wonder if there's anything out there what people I've searched to see other people's stories like that. What I've just told there, because people must have believed in it.
The problem is with that story, so it goes like, if you believe it, you can achieve it. That's the kind of one of the lines, isn't it? And I think it is one of those books you need to keep reading over the years. You can't just read it once and forget about it. You've got to keep kind of affirming the belief with it. But the problem with it is people just read it and they go, oh, if I can believe it, then it'll happen. So I'm going to believe I'm going to win the lottery on Friday. And then they don't, and they go, oh, it's fucking load of shit, then that doesn't work. But it's not like that, is it? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it's like what you say, control the
controllables. It's like you are the example of it, in the sense where you got to live that way as well. Yeah. Have those dreams and those beliefs, but live by them as well. You can't just be like, well, you know what, yeah, I'll just fucking do the lottery and it'll happen.
Yeah.
And then, so that's why I think a lot of people are sceptical of The Secret, because they think because of that, they think, well, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But then there's loads of great stories on there's some in the book where like people have this dream house, and then they've like maybe got a picture of it or something, and then like 20 years later they end up moving all the boxes into this new house, and they find this like picture of the house that they once designed 20 years ago, and it's like, fucking hell, like I fucking wanted this 20 years ago, like, and it's just, the universe has a way.
Do they tell you to, is it like, it's not like a guide, is it? But do they tell you to write things down, like write those goals down, or?
Yeah, you can, in a way, yeah. But you don't need to write it down, because you know what you want.
Yeah.
It's not for no one else. You know what you want. You know what you desire truly, don't you? Everybody does. So to feel it, to see it, mine's a world title. Another time, this one is a bit mad for me, because I believe I'll win a world title. I will win a world title, but at this time...
Don't say off apple pie now.
So people were saying, what was it like when you got the call to fight Rigondo? I thought this fight be on... When I was a little kid, I used to play the fight night on the PlayStation 2, and he was on the game, but I always said to myself, I'm going to fight him one day. So I painted pictures of me fighting him and what it would look like when my arm gets raised, and I see the ref... In my head, my arm's raised, referee's there, and then he's there, but I've just won the world title. But what happened when I fought? The same thing happened, but my arm weren't raised and his arm was raised, and that's why I believe 100% there's got to be a rematch. And when they asked me, do you want to fight for the world title, I said, of course I do. But it was always the WBC world title, the green belt. And when they said it was the WBA, it was like, where does the WBC fit in and all this? You know what I mean? But that's why I believe there has to be a rematch somewhere down the line, because my visualisation hasn't come to plan yet, you know. And I strongly believe it. Banoffee pie to the universe, to the Lord, is the same as a world title, you know. It's just all material, you know. It's just that's so easy.
No, mate, I believe it might sound mad to you, but I'm on it, mate. I'm truly with you on this, like.
And I think there's a bit of a thing happening, like. I think there's a thing happening I see on social media. Maybe it's just because now I'm in this place and I can see everyone that like it's actually like. But I do feel like things are changing. And
nah, I do as well.
Do you know what I mean?
I think more people as well. A big thing in The Secret is to be grateful, you know. And I think a lot more people are seeing that, and it's like you have got to be so grateful for the positions that we're in and things that we have, and I think that you attract, your kind of behaviours, and you as a person does attract.
Yeah.
A big thing that I do when I go into schools, I always say, don't hang around with 9 idiots and then be surprised when you're the 10th one. Do you know what I mean? That's so true. Like, it's all about the people you surround yourself by. When they say if you want to be a millionaire, the first thing you should do is hang around with a load of millionaires. Yeah. When I wanted to break the 10k world record, I thought, well, I need to go and hang around with some of the best runners in Liverpool. So I went and joined Liverpool Harriers, got the best running coach in Liverpool, and surrounded myself by the fastest runners in Liverpool. And then, funny old thing, 6 months later, I was the fastest amputee in the world.
Coincidence, or...
Do you know what I mean? It's not rocket science, is it? And it's the same thing in a negative way, though. If you go and hang around with a load of lads who are fucking smoking weed, taking Charlie, drinking 5 nights a week, and you're like, oh, I don't do any of that, I'm just mates with them. 6 months down the line, I guarantee you're dabbling in some of that same thing that they are, and it sounds obvious, doesn't it? But maybe it's only when you take a step back and you actually see it working for good or bad, you think.
Yeah, I think it also gives you the ability to take responsibility for your failures also, because you take a lot of resentment towards life, don't you? Things that didn't go your way, whose fault was it? It was obviously yours, you attracted it. Well, if you believe in a secret, you believe that you attracted it by your feelings, but I think you have to say, not in every case, you can be an innocent child and something terrible has happened, but I think in a lot of cases that we look to blame, don't we, in life, and you get very resentful and stuff like that. So I think that being able to believe in that way, you can also take responsibility for your failures, which therefore gives you a plan to not do it again, not to blame the next person who makes you let yourself down and stuff like that. So you can help yourself in that way too, if you believe that. I think I take responsibility for my own actions because that's how I felt. So if I think like I lost that fight, that was my fault, I take that on the chin and I'll do something about it next time. That's how I see it, rather than say, well, it was the referee's fault and I couldn't have lost because that referee's a bit of a cunt.
Yeah.
You can't think like that, can you?
And again, though, mate, that takes a lot, that though. It's completely right, 100% agree.
Yeah.
But mate, and again, you're a young fella still. So kind of have, a wise head on your shoulders. That's like, it's impressive to see.
I believe I was lucky enough to have 2 fucked up parents who made a lot of mistakes, which I learned from. That's what I believe.
Did they get you into boxing then, or did you?
In a way, yeah. My dad, we trained in the house a lot. So my mum and dad, they were on the gear. So all I ever remember was the gear. Like that was it. That's how I grew up. I had no brothers or sisters, but in the house, because I had a lot of love, which a lot of people don't have, in that situation. So a lot of people don't get time with the families because they're out working. My mum and dad never, so we were always in the house all day. So I had my half fella, my ma, when he was conscious, to spend time with and to be loved. So I had a lot of one-to-one time with my dad, which we'd train in the house, and I always had when I was a young kid. And at the age of 13, he was the school caretaker in our school. Just mad, he's on the gear, but he's a school. He's a great man, by the way. He just had problems like a lot of people. Me, he's the football manager. He was our team manager. He's also on the gear. He's just like... he's just a proper cat. Everyone loved him in the air, but he has his problems. So he's coming out one day, and I'm fighting in the street with someone after school. And he had to be there. He couldn't stop it, or he just had to watch the fight after the school. And after that, he said, "When you go to the gym, lad?" So a little while after I went to the gym, I was aged.
Did you get battered or something in this fight?
No, I actually done well, but it's just like we had 3 fights on the way home. And I want another fight. He wants to get better of you, sort of thing. And I was like, no, just leave it now. My half-fella's here, don't want to be fighting in front of me half-fella, because for one, he'll fucking lose his job. One, he's fucking probably the only honest job he's ever had, and he's going to lose it. So, I did manage in the end, I had to, and my half-fella, come on, fuck him, lad. And that was that. So,
it just sounds like that advice, your dad's just watching have a fight, and at the end he goes, "Hey lad, come on, let's get the gym."
So yeah, he just said, "Go on, lad." go on then. And I turned around, and that was that. So he said to me a while after that, go to the gym, lad. And after about a year later, going to the gym, went to the gym, and I just looked around and said, there's a picture of John Conte on the wall with a WBC title. And I started feeling, I said, I want to be world champion. That's what I'm going to do with my life. It's mad because you have to find a moment in your life. You can everyone can say that was the defining moment in my life. That was one of mine. I said I'm going to be world champion on day one. You know what I mean? I remember counting how many times I could skip. It was 13 I got to, but like I couldn't box. But I just knew. I just said to myself, I'm going to be champion of the world. And I'm very lucky that them little things happen because I got a goal early on. A lot of people never do they? Very, very lucky.
Who did you look up to anyone in the boxing arena at that age? No.
Never. No, my only idol was my dad. It still is. It's like never. No.
But then slowly, did you look up to anyone in your teens who was in boxing or?
I've had good people in my life. I think I remember in your life somewhere along the line, the teenage years, you were going off the path. But in the background, he was always that one good person at different times in your life who was going to help you. I had a good person like that in my life. Good few of them, actually, who've kept me on the right path. I looked up to them as people, but boxing, I don't even watch boxing. Snooker's my sport of choice. Don't watch boxing, don't watch no boxing.
Really, yeah?
But my alpha's always been my idol. I remember we sparred once in the living room. We had 2 pair of bag gloves out of Lonsdale bag gloves out of Don A. Remember Don A? Yeah. So we had 2 pair of them. And my ma's the referee. So he let me zoom in. And but me and my mum just wouldn't let it go. So about 2 days, you got passes off your lad. He's the man of the house now and all that. So he's like, I tell you why, you couldn't get your gloves on. So I'm actually believing this confidence. No, I'm actually believing this. I'm thinking it's gonna be a little Spanish, and he just steamed me. He fucking nearly knocked me out. He hit me about 4 shots, and my head nearly come off. It was like my head was going that way, but my brain was going that way. And I threw the gloves off, crying and ran up the stairs. But he's always been my idol. We trained in the house every night together. And it was a great
saying like what, like just
mad upbringing. It was mad situation. But in the house we'd be training. I remember like 50 press-ups at least every night.
Really, yeah?
Yeah, and he'd say to me, one more. I'd be shaking and doing another one. Come on, lad, one more. But it installed if that never give in life. Do you know what I mean? I remember one.
I love your laugh, by the way. It's fucking brilliant.
Feet, not the plank, no, the 6 inches off the floor. So I remember about 4 minutes and my man running going, that's enough now. Because I put myself through torture and he's going, come on. He's probably sitting there laughing, man. Come on, one more. And I'm tired and sweating. I get on his every word. I'll be back in. I'm about laughing, sweating. I'm about shouting, fuck off, get out. I told him we're like just hillbillies, you know. But every night we train and like saves me.
I think that's brilliant. That don't make you say like mum and dad had your problems, like, but just sounds like such a fun, happy home with a lot of love, like, do you know what I mean?
Well, it's the perfect example. The love in there. There weren't much love between 2 of them, but I took love from both parents, you know what I mean, individually, and I think that's life. You should never take Johnny for Billy's word. You should always get to know that person and what he's like, you know what I mean? But I had 2 great parents. I had a great auntie down the corner. She showed me family models and values. I've got 3 kids and a girl now. I'm very lucky and blessed. I always wanted it because I seen what was going on in their house. But in my house, we didn't have that. I'm lucky to have her. But in our home, I had a lot of love of 2 parents and a lot of determination off my half fella. Yeah, it was a mad upbringing, but great as well, you know what I mean? It was different, it weren't the routine. That's why now I don't live the same as, only saying the 85%, I don't live like that because the smackheads don't, do you know what I mean? They say the smackhead spends his last £100 on gear and then robs a pint of milk. That's like, it's just crazy.
With my life growing up, mate, I remember like saying my mum died when I was 12. So my dad was a fireman, so he was holding down a job as a fireman, bringing up me. I was 12 and my 2 little sisters were 3 and 5. So he had to work 2 days, 2 nights, and then he was off for 4 days. So I used to then go and stay at my nan's. And my nan was like kind of a bit like my mum. Not like my mum, but she just played that kind of...
Yeah.
But she was a bit more than a nan, if you like, do you know what I mean? And my granddad and my auntie all lived in the same house, so then we'd stay there after school and stuff. And then my granddad was an alcoholic. I kind of see now how that kind of, you know, played out type thing. And I reckon it made me laugh when you're saying about that family home, because you look back and it was mad. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
Some of the stories, but again, there was so much love there and so much family time and so much everyone all being there underneath the same roof, and it was hilarious. You know, I remember one time I won a football tournament. I won Player of the Year, and there was a pub down the road that I played football for, and I got the award. My mum, my dad was there, and my granddad. And I was 12, 11 at this point, so I didn't know he was a pisshead. And he had this football trophy. And he came home from the pub, bladdered, couldn't fucking walk. Ends up knocking at like next door, trying to get in. And like fell over, he had cuts all over his face, fell over, ripped his jeans. But he never, like, this trophy was still intact. Do you know what I mean? And you think, he's just fucking walked a mile down the road, pissed as a fart. But yeah, he's got home with this trophy, like, it's okay. And, you know, so many funny stories like that. And you think, if anyone looked in, they'd think, fucking hell, he's a pisser there, and he's dad, and a broken home, broken family. But I look back with just nothing but like love, and just like, I had like, fucking, my nan like looking after me, because my poor mum had died, and yeah, my nan's taking me to the park, going down the fireman's pole, like, you know, in the park, like, my nan was off her head. And I think it just makes you, when you get, I think, probably similar mindsets, where you just like, you gotta fucking enjoy yourself and just be happy and hopeful and grateful that you've...
Is it that funny because you think, what would other people think?
Probably, yeah.
Why is it makes me laugh at half the shit. I wouldn't even say it, but I think, fucking hell, if people knew,
Yeah.
I think I have to laugh. It's one of them you have to laugh. What you think?
Oh, you cry, yeah. No, it's a great attitude to have, and I do think, though, going through like those hardships and that, no doubt the way, it does make you a stronger person.
Definitely, 100%, yeah. Sometimes I think my own kids, like, you don't want the same for them, but how much are they going to lose out on for not getting the... I don't want them to feel bad, but like, they're not going to be the same person. They're going to take a lot more years to actually find out what you knew by the age of this age, you know what I mean? But you don't want them to. It's catch-22, innit? You want them to be wise, you want them to look after themselves, but you also want to keep them safe. So.
Yes, I remember thinking about Mike Tyson did a really good interview with Piers Morgan, of all people. He's got a podcast called Hot Boxing, I think, and he talked about that exact same thing of, like, he's just he's not frustrated in himself, but just because of the complete different level of like upbringing, that his kids are in this mansion now in LA or wherever he is, versus where he grew up. You know, and Kevin Hart mentioned the same thing as well in on Joe Rogan's podcast. You know, of like the difference between the upbringing. But like, mate, is exactly what is the exact point you've just said. Like, you know, you can't. How do you get your kids to go? You know, to do the plank for fucking half an hour.
No, but mate,
it coming good instead, because I got the actual record on the Great Britain. 17 and a half minutes I held the plank. There's a guy now, 17 minutes, he got Charlie Edwards, a world champion. Everyone else had dropped off at 10 minutes, but me and him wouldn't stop. There was a buckle of big circle of sweat, and I just wouldn't give in. Just would not give in.
I was doing it for 45 seconds this morning, I was fucked.
17 minutes?
I'd never gone beyond, must have been 5 minutes before that. Just pure determination, never give in.
Is that still a record now, is it?
Must be. Can't see anyone doing that, you know what I mean?
17 minutes in the plank.
I'll be back up there.
That's incredible.
17 and a half minutes. He dropped out in 17. I was just like, no, I'm getting another half a minute. I'm not winning by a second. But that's where it put me, you know what I mean?
That's that mindset again, though, innit?
To just keep going, yeah.
I think, right, and again, there's no right or wrong answer to this, but when I go and do talks, and without naming names, some people in my life now, relationships I've had, like friends-wise and things like that, and there are some people in life, which is a good thing in some ways, but I've never had any real adversity. And like, I'm 30 now. I look, by the time I was 21, I'd lost me mum, I'd been blown up, I'd lost close friends who were killed in Afghan, I'd lost the ability to have kids, I'd lost my leg, I'd lost my career, all at the age of like 21, 22, and yet there's some people in the late 20s who've not even had a person die in the family, which is great, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
Yeah.
But like the levels of like...
These levels, Indy. I've never been nothing to... When I was watching this podcast, I was thinking, what am I going to talk about? Some of these stories, the fella kept getting cancer and nearly dying and all that, and the guy was having the fits. I was watching and I think, what am I going to talk about? Because there actually is levels, Indy. You're right there.
Yeah, and it is no kind of, oh wow, you've been through more than them, because everyone's... Something what's little for someone is fucking huge, do you know what I mean? And I have that all the time. I say to people like, you know, people say, oh, I keep on trying to run, but I've got a dodgy knee or something, and but then they'll follow that up with, I feel bad moaning to you because you've got only got one leg. Yeah. And I say, listen, my leg doesn't bother me when I run. No. Your knee bothers you, so your knee's a bigger problem than my one leg. No. So there's levels to, but it's just again. There's no there's no right or wrong answer, but it is just an interesting debate to know, like adversity and resilience. What is the right balance? Yeah. Going through a load of shit when you're young so that you become so resilient, or thankfully not going through anything, but then you're not as resilient when something does hit you later on in life.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's just pushing that level, isn't it? That if you've gone through all of that like boundary just keeps being pushed, so that if, for example, you forgot to bring that microphone today, that in the whole scheme of things, that whole level is just being pushed more. Whereas me, I haven't been blown up in Afghan, I haven't lost a leg, blah 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 blah. That level is quite do you know what I mean? It's,
yeah. But that to you still like
fucking the microphone.
Yeah. It's real, isn't it? It's real what you're feeling.
Yeah.
It's real. The pain that you feel over the mic. You don't leave a mic, but the pain's real, isn't it?
No, it's true though. Yeah. Yeah, mate, you should never have worried, mate. We just talk about all kinds, mate. We just waffle on all kinds. And that's what I like about it, though, because it's so interesting to hear people's views on, like, resilience or mindset or pushing themselves and how they've grown up and how it's affected them, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, probably should talk a bit more about boxing, shouldn't we?
Boxing. It's mad because the questions I get asked as a fighter never towards boxing. It's mad.
Yeah.
I don't get asked many questions about boxing.
It's because you are, mate, like, again, no one. So when I first heard about you was when the documentary was on around 2011, 12. And even then, though, I remember there was a bit where you went to a homeless shelter.
Yep.
And even then, I thought, like, not that I know many boxers that well to kind of compare, but I thought he doesn't strike me as like a normal boxer, or he thinks differently than what I'd think boxers think. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah. I know what you mean, like, a lot of questions, a lot of the time you get asked, why are you doing that? A lot of the time, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? You know what I mean?
What, when you do what?
Just mad things that I do on my own, or I've written down everything I've ate for the last 11 years. Everything that's going in my diary, everything I've ate for the last 11 years gets written down. People
Fuck
say,
off.
Everything, you know what I mean? This will be, you're in it.
Hang on a minute.
So every training session, every press up for the last, since the Commonwealth Youth Games in 2008, I've written everything down. Everything. No, everything.
Everything. What food? You mean food, a diary? You mean
food, drink, and training. Everything I've ever ate. What my weight was that day. Well, I haven't got my weight every day, but I've got everything I've ate.
No, so you
like you're probably thinking, why? But people say things, and I say, I'll tell you why. Because when I'm world champion, I look back on it, and my kids can look back on it, and like, I've just got my own mindset.
I suppose that's a manuscript then of going. That's what it took to be a world champion.
Yeah. Mate, that'd be quality research. That in terms of diet and things like that, and how that.
Because I see where my weight. Well, now I'm 8 weeks away from my next fight, and I know every fight that I've had when I was going to make the championship weight, where I was this day to that day. I know how much liters I was thinking, how many calories I was having. So I've got. You can go to a nutritionist and that's what works, but I know it works because this is where I was on this day and this day. You know what I mean?
And that's since 2008, so 11 years.
That is incredible.
But it's great because I've even got the Banoffee pie written in there. If anyone not believing the Banoffee pie, I go home and kill his diary now. In case anyone, but I've even got the Banoffee pie in there.
That is some level of dedication, that.
Like you say, people say, why? Why did you do that? Why? We finished training. Why are you still training? Because I am. That's why. You know what I mean? Because there's a reason. You just don't understand it. That's why I'm not going to explain. You know what I mean? A lot of the time, it's why?
I'm a bit weird in the sense that though I find that stuff not weird. I find it like inspiring knowing that's in like, wow, someone's pushing it and doing things differently like that to such an extent where it's like, fucking hell, wow, that's fucking good effort, that.
Mm.
Do you believe that like competing against anyone else is pointless? Like I don't like.
I wouldn't say it's pointless, but I think it's needed for a bit. But then I do believe you need to compete with yourself. I'm mixed on it. I do believe your biggest kind of competitor is yourself, but then I also do think it can spur you on having someone else.
Yeah.
Being the best out of you. I've always thought, like people say, do you hate opponents? I say no, because without them, I'll never be the version I want to be.
But I do think it gets to a point when you are competing with yourself as well, or you're trying to prove things to yourself.
Yeah.
Just the only reason I say that is when I broke that 10k record, there was a guy out there who could run it in 37:53. So straight away, that was my goal. Do you know what I mean? And I beat it by 36 seconds. But now I'm thinking, nah, I could have fucking went faster than that. So now my goal's me. It's mine now. So
was it always you?
Good point. Yeah, I mean, I probably had that kind of that competitor in me still, that I wanted to prove something to myself. But I wouldn't have had a specific time that I needed to beat.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't have always known if I'm going.
Yeah.
So it's both, mate. I'll be honest, it's both. I think you do need someone initially maybe to spark that kind of, right, come on, let's fucking I'll try and beat him.
Yeah.
And you might not even beat them when it triggers the other thing, which is yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Mate, we talked about the 4-minute mile on another podcast, didn't we?
Yeah.
About how no one had broken the 4-minute mile. Yeah. Then someone broke it in, what year was it, 19? Yeah, and then literally 4 weeks later, it was broken. Yeah.
That's the ultimate kind of what we're talking about then. It's like, once you see someone doing it, it's like, I can achieve it now.
They say as well, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but they say when like no one new inventions are about to get made, it's happening somewhere else as well, but just not. So the person who lets it out, there's also people going down that route, like everywhere. So as you say, is it coincidence? Because you can't just say, right, I'm just gonna get off the couch now and beat Roger Bannister's record. You can't, can you? So at the same time, there's people nearly there anyway. Do you know what I mean? But
it was like that with flight, wasn't it? The Wright brothers who learned how to fly. Yeah. There was a couple of projects going on around that same time, and they were the first ones who done it. But yeah, there was obviously other people doing it around that time. So I don't know what you believe in. What's your motivator yourself? Like, I'm going to be better, or are you looking at other people thinking, I'm going to out-train you, I'm going to out-fight you?
I believe I train the hardest in the world. And because if I don't, I'd like to see the fella who does, because I need to train harder than him, you know what I mean? I probably would benefit by watching other people training to see if they do train harder, you know. For years I was training alone. And then when I got into...
not even in a boxing gym or nothing, just on your own?
I was training in a boxing gym with people, but I'd excel. But like different types of training, like running mad hours, 4 a.m. and like other types of training I was doing every night before bed, me press up still, and then I got on the GB squad, and I was training to be like these people, not realising when I got face to face, no one was training like me. So you have this expectation what the champion should train like. So if I never done my own thing alone, I'd probably never got to that level.
Yeah, you would have relaxed a bit.
Yeah, I'd have done just a bit more than everyone else done, but I went doing a lot more than everyone else was doing because I just expected more, you know. No. Is this just physical as well? In your line of work, does it work like that? Because there's also a bit of a pecking order, isn't it? Like, not like you go up you get a promoted. So does it work the same? It's you against you. Can that happen in there?
Yes. I'd think in my line of work, it's probably it's us against competitors. I think, and trying to find out what they're doing and how can we beat them, not rather than internally or me versus me.
Yeah.
Like I monitor some stats for my own self, whether that's obviously revenue created and things like that, and the pipeline. So I suppose that is me against me, but it's a bit of both, mate. It's a bit of both. Bit of both.
I talk in the my presentation that I do. I get up the commando values, what we learned in the Marines, and one of them's professional standards. And my take on that is, you know, professional standards start from within. You know, you're the one who creates your own professional standards. And I use this stupid example. I say, you know, you're walking down the road this evening, you're walking your dog, and you see a crisp packet on the floor. Now, there's no one around, no one can see you. It's not your crisp packet, you didn't put it there. But you know the right thing to do is pick the crisp packet up and put it in the next bin that you see. Okay, now if you do it or you don't do it, no one's going to say anything, because one, it's not yours, and it, you know, but you know within yourself that's the right thing to do. And it's having those high standards within yourself 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
When no one's looking.
When doing integrity is doing the right thing, even when no one's going to say, good effort, Tom, nice one for doing that.
No reward,
it's no reward. You're just doing it because it's the fucking right thing to do.
Yeah. Can you maintain somebody else's standards truly by learning, or how do you know what I mean? How would the person watching learn these standards by following what is right? To be all at their intuition, you know? Or
I think
it's a difficult question, that.
Well,
we seem to have a bit that going on. All of us don't think that was right or that was wrong, because you just feel it, don't you, within your gut? I know I've done wrong there because I shouldn't have put my hands in his pocket and took his money. But you all seem to know what was right, but we also have false beliefs, don't we? What's right and wrong?
Yeah.
Can you maintain someone else's standards?
No, I don't think you can. I think, as cheesy as it sounds, the kind of nice way to look at it is, you know, you've got to try and, you know, you try and wake up every day and be the best version of yourself you can be. Yeah. And in the hope of doing that, that will automatically inspire and motivate people to try and be the best version of them they can be.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can have this kind of divine say over someone to say, look, you know, I think you've almost got to set the example and then be the hope that people can go,
of course, yeah.
Look at us, or look at Jazza, fuck me, he's writing down every day what he's eating. You know, I need to start doing along those lines. Or if, you know, yeah, you just got to be an example, I reckon, to people.
So you can be, innit? Yeah. So you can be, innit?
Mate, you're back from an outsider. From if someone had seen, like, you know, you just mentioned about your mum and dad and things like that. If someone from the outside would have looked in, they'd have thought, you know, maybe he's on the wrong track, or what your dad was doing and things like that. But it's like, is it environment? Is it the environment that you're in at the time, which maybe you said you got a lot of love, but it was it a bit toxic? Or I'm not trying to put words in your mouth here, but
you're right.
But then there's surely something inside you that. So is it like, is it environment, or is it the, you know, I don't know, is it 50-50 your environment versus your genes, or like?
I've often wondered it myself.
It's nature. Was it nature or nature? Is it? It's like whether you're born that, or whether it's how your nature when you're brought up.
Because like we all inherently know what things are right and what things are wrong. Yeah. I can truly believe that. Like we all know, regardless of what sort of environment you've been brought up in, to an extent, you know what's right and what's wrong. But yeah,
they say, like, don't they, people say that they believe people can be born evil. I don't. I believe that you face circumstances and there's always a reason why this person turned out this way, because our makeup is just other people, what we chose to pick from other people, really, innit? I don't believe it, but people do strongly believe it. Like, the things he's done is terrible. He must have been born evil. Do you think we're all made up of things that we've seen or believed, or can you be born that way? Like you say, nature?
Yeah, I don't think you're born that way. I think, you know, you make decisions, and it's like, Andy, you make one decision and it might not be that bad, but that then decision leads you on that path.
Yeah.
And then you face with another decision, and again, it's not that bad, but it leads you down that
like ethical line gets keep being pushed.
Yeah. A little bit,
yeah. It's like if you steal £100, if I stole £100 out of the company account, that ethical line's then pushed to £100, so the next time I'm going to go, fuck it, I'll do 200. And then like that ethical line.
But also it leads you down a point where, not only do your ethics then get diminished, but then also it can lead you down a troublesome route. So you lend £100 or you take £100, but then you need to find that £100 back. So now you're in a decision where you need to rob £100 off someone, but they won't know. So then you're in a decision where now you're robbing off someone else, and then that then leads you down a route till you're in a point where
now everyone says you're evil bastard.
Yeah, and I don't know, it's to be a bit dramatic, but that then a series of these decisions leads you in a point where you're having a fist fight, and then you might punch someone and they fall, hit the head badly, and it's all stemmed from that bad decision. So you're not born evil, but it's a number of decisions that led you to a position.
But like
people won't have it, but I do believe that.
But like murderers and things like that, surely I don't know what the things is, but surely majority of them have previous convictions of obviously not murder, but like surely other things that then leads up to that.
It's not cats and that, don't they? Like animals.
Yeah.
Look at that Oscar Pistorius, remember when he killed his girlfriend, didn't he? And he says he didn't mean to, but there was so many instances of like him being angry and things happening, and you know, I don't know nothing about the case, but it's that thing. It doesn't just happen. There's been a number of things along the way.
There's a great you probably watched Napoleon Hill. There's Napoleon Hill. He's like the secret in the 50s, and he wrote a book called A Conversation with the Devil. It's good. It's on YouTube. It's worth a watch. But it talks about how people call it whatever they want, good karma, bad karma, good or bad, God or the devil. So he's having a conversation with the devil.
Is that the guy who wrote Think and Grow Rich?
That's it.
Yeah, I've read that, mate. In
so
like the 30s it was written, or something like that. 30s or 40s. Yeah, it was ages.
Awesome. It's the secret, and then that was Think and Grow Rich. Most of that come from the Bible, same things. So out with Conversation with the Devil. And the devil's talking about how he gets into destroying lives. So he won't get into your kids, he'll get into the parents. He'll see the dad, smack the ma, and then that's what he believes you do. Not that he teaches kids, he does it to the parents, and then like just little things like what you say. But you're going back to there, so like let's talk about don't take coke, it's bad for you. I won't. It's too far for me, I wouldn't do that. I've never took a drug, never even had a ciggy. So he says, but alcohol's not that bad, is it? So then he gives the kid alcohol. The alcohol tarnishes decisions. He can't think properly. So he has a ciggy with his mate. So the ciggy's not that far from the weed. The weed's not far from the coke, you know. And that's how it works, sort of thing. So it's good to be. That's it there, Conversation with the Devil. So it's good.
That one there, yeah.
I think Outwitting the Devil and Conversation with the Devil are the same. Two different people.
Mate, that literally, that was my childhood. Everyone was like, I'm never ever going to smoke. No one smokes. Yeah. And then a few people tried smoking.
The Interview with the Devil.
I'll save that. It's 3 hours and 41.
How long have you just got?
Just be us commentating on a YouTube video. No, but a few lads tried smoking, and then I didn't at first, but then I ended up having a go with the ciggy and just hated it. And then people started smoking weed, and then I remember having a go at that. And thankfully, that's where I stopped. I had a bit of weed, didn't like it, and I've never touched drugs since in that sense. So thankfully, I didn't. But that was the route. Ciggies aren't so bad. Smoking weed's not that bad. So everyone seems to be doing a bit of coke. Let's just do that, and then tablets.
Tablets not that far from the coke.
And then, but it literally started off. No, I'm not even going to smoke.
That's how it starts, isn't it? It's when you think about drinking, it's not that bad, but it really is, because you don't. Every seed that you do, as it says in this, every seed that you do plant comes with a fruit of that seed, good or bad. You don't plant seeds in ones; they come in twos. So then the next decision is a knock-on effect, sort of thing. So like,
I've thought of it like that.
Yeah.
But we all face it, don't we? We all see it. Only for me, I never went down that road because I was already seeing the end result of the ciggy with my mum and dad, you know what I mean? And see where it's going. But not everyone has. They just go slowly on to the next thing, you know. But it's hard to tell kids that, isn't it? It's so hard to tell generation that, next generation.
You seem to have a big impact. I mean, just even listening to you now, I mean, it's fascinating. But do you feel like you're in a position now where you can go and kind of speak to young people and stuff?
Well, I am. I've just started looking into. I've had this plan. Since I was a kid, it was like sneaking on the bus to get to the gym. Just a lot of things that trying to sell coke and weed myself to fund me diet. Not Al Capone, but what I'm saying is these are things I never said I'd do as a kid by watching drug dealers coming in the house as I'm sitting there, people who I know, and I'm just embarrassed. These things are never going to go down that road, but then finding myself doing these things and never want to do anything crime-wise because I see my mum and dad do it, but finding myself doing these things for a good cause. It's mad. We're often faced with that, but aren't we? Doing something bad to try and do something good, like you're saying, no robbing the next man to pay. But I always had this dream to open something that can give fighters, not just a boxing gym and kids, emotional support. So that's what I'm looking into now. I'm trying to get the funds and stuff like that, and ideas. I'll ask you now what could help, but how I can get emotional support for them. Also the food prep, so they don't have to do stupid things. So 16, 17, you have to give all your energy to boxing, but you have to work as well. It's like that age, innit? It's mad. Not everyone's got parents who are going to wipe their ass, so you got to work and then box. It's hard to jog. At one point I was on the demolition, age 16, just kicked out of school with a team to be a boxer, jogging at 6 a.m, going to work demolition for 8 hours and then going to the gym after that. It was just too bad. Got selected to fight for England captain, and then box shite, and just thought, what am I doing? I can't provide for myself, my diet, and then also be an athlete. It's just not possible.
It's like one or the other, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then you have to live. So it's like, I would like to be able to help kids and get funding for the kids to have everything, because meal prep is bus past just the gym, it's transport, boxing coaches, emotional support, massages, all charity-based work that can all give this kid the means to go on and do well in life, the opportunity, you know what I mean, just to build an opportunity. That's my plan. Also emotional support for families, young kids who are in a family with addiction. They can come down with the family, even if the family are like, look after me boy, I'm fucked up, I can't do nothing about my addiction, which not everyone can, but you take care of them, thank you, you know what I mean. That's a lot of people are looking for that. A lot of people are stuck in their own guilt that they have got addiction, they can't do nothing about it because that's what addiction is, and they're watching their own kids every day. My situation, smoking gear, and then saying, I'm sorry lad, don't you do this. So that's like, for a lot of families, I'm sorry lad, the next morning, fuck, come on, close off me head, smacked your mum. Next morning, I'm sorry about this lad, don't you do this, you know what I mean? That's just not fucking... But if there's someone out there to help these families will take the help. They put the pride aside, they fucking got none, they're hooked on whatever they're hooked on. So they will send the kids down there. I'd love to give that emotional support, even if it's not going to be world champion, just that emotional support that he grows up, decides, I don't want to be a boxer, but at least I've got the values now that I can live an honest life. I haven't gone down the wrong path with all my mates, and now I can give back in life. I can do something positive, and I'd love to just make a knock-on effect like that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm starting to do. I'm calling it the Jazza Dickens Academy for now. I'm just going to schools and little things like that. Where am I going next? Walton Jail last week, and just little things like that.
It's like great, it's like a hub, like a community hub.
Yeah.
It's fucking like a brilliant idea, that, mate.
I'd love to ask your ideas. What could help in the child that you was? What could help you, and what child that you was? What could help?
I think sport, mate. Well, obviously it's interlinked there with the boxing, but I always remember when what like upset me was when my mum was diagnosed with leukemia. It was like the 6 weeks holidays. I was going into year 9. I think it was year 8. I think it might have been. And 6 weeks holidays, normally you're out with your mates playing footy and stuff. And I just spent the 6 weeks holidays every day going to the Zachley Hospital to see my mum. And my mum was saying, look, go and play with your mates. And I was like, no, I want to come and see you, mum. And I had this kind of guilt of, not seeing my mum. And then when she died, I don't think I ever got back into football properly again. Do you know what I mean? And sport was always my kind of, football was me kind of release, if you like. And I think you get to that age, don't you? 15, 16, you get introduced to girls and maybe drinking on the streets and stuff. And I think, I'd like to think anyway, I would have kept up the football and kept up the sport. But for me, the sport just kind of, my dad is a single parent. I'm looking after 2 young girls as well. Not saying he forgot about me, didn't, but it was like, he's not now there to go, right, come on, get to footy training or get to do this. It becomes a lot harder, doesn't it? Yeah. So I think the big thing, mate, is sport and the discipline sport can bring.
Yeah, and it can bring people together, can't it?
Yeah.
I know in boxing gyms, you don't walk in the gym, and like, you don't have bullying. Bullying can't happen in the boxing gym. Everyone's equal and everyone gets treated right, and a lot of parents worry about sending the kids down the gym, but it's probably the safest place they can. Because with the knife crime and that. So what would your advice, as a kid, you in a child with you, what would you like from a hub like that, if you would?
What's it? I mean,
Keeping us on our toes today,
yeah, fucking like that, douche. Questions. We're not used to this.
It's great.
I don't know, mate. Look, when I was growing up, the thing for me was tennis. So I had a little bit of sponsorship, and also went playing competitions. Did like La Manga and a few other bits and pieces. My stepsister is exactly the same as me, where she's properly into dance. She's 15 now. She's in year 10, so she'll be going into year 11. Mate, she's probably never seen a drop of alcohol in her life, purely because of how fucking like strict she is with dancing. Everything, mate, it's insane. From everything from what she eats through to every single weekend is spent in the dance studio. Mate, it's the same. Yeah, but like having that, like, have been so embroiled in something as a hobby, it's just like can just revolutionise your whole, like from 12 up to 50, even longer. The problem is then is like it's then that switch from like from school to college. I think personally, because that school college, when you're in college. That for me was when I lost that not that drive as such, but when I lost the focus, yeah. If you can catch it and still have it.
It comes back to what you're saying though, doesn't it? That age where you're like, you can find this is good, I'll try this and I'll try that.
That's the starting young, doesn't it? Think what I'm going to do. Unfortunately, not every kid's going to benefit, but kids like me. I'd rather the kid come to me who could get told from experience. I actually have got not a blueprint, but I can tell you it does work, rather than if you come to me tennis, I would say, I don't know.
Mate, but boxing though, mate, right? I train in the Rotunda. You probably so I got in there. It was fucking great, So I've always kept relatively fit since I got out the Marines, but yeah, not as fit as I kind of am now. And became mates with Carragher. He come to visit me after I got injured, and became mates with him. And I was working in a gym in the old drone. It was called Hotfit. It was like a yeah. It was a bit of a fad at the time, training in like hot rooms basically, and it was good. So
reception?
No, I don't think I've seen you in there. Yeah, so you'd go on reception, and then I'd go and do the class in there. It was good. It was great. So like I'm a qualified personal trainer, so I was doing that, and then it was great doing that. Anyway, Carragher came in a few times and done it. And then he said to me, you should come down the Rotunda, like it's a good group of lads and that. So I started going down there, and fuck me, like it becomes that what you're saying then, that group where there's no bullying in there, and there's no like you just go in there and you're just part of this kind of family in the gym. And for me, I've only noticed it really probably the last maybe 6 to 12 months. One thing I massively missed from leaving the Marines was just that kind of structure, that routine, all that kind of stuff. Now every day you go in that gym, probably only work out for 45 minutes, but I'm in there about 2.5 hours because it's just good. You're just around the lads all the time, and I see that with like maybe with Carragher himself, and I see other sports people. You need that routine, like you need that, and I think to have that kind of hub where you've got that routine, that structure, you're exercising, which is great anyway, but you're surrounded by then like-minded people. You're having a laugh, the joke. And you've got something there. Yeah,
the changing rooms, getting a shower is actually a good part of the whole thing, isn't it? You're having with the other people, and you're with your family sort of thing, away from family, isn't it?
It's so powerful. Like, so
maybe
powerful.
If you can pull that off as well, yeah, fucking fair play.
I will. I have already.
Mate, I'll bring you the banoffee pie there.
That's the thing, mate. And we've spoke about this a little bit, but like, it's great in the news how it is now. Actually, this week is Mental Health Week. But people always talk about depression and anxiety and post-traumatic stress, and all those are real things. But there are like other things. Like for me, I struggled with the transition, and I think that's an actual thing. If I ever went to doctors, they would have said, you've got a transition disorder or something.
It's from diazepam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I never fucking went. But yeah, like that. I mean, I'm not saying no one don't go, but I don't think pills are always the answer.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It gets replacing what you're missing with something positive, i.e., a boxing gym.
I feel it could help a lot of people, even just to, and it stopped the knife crime. Definitely stopped. Well, if every kid was going to a boxing gym, it most likely would stop the knife crime. You know, there's another topic in it. There's another one.
But even like at that age as well, like having you know, if you're someone who's 15 or however old, having you as a mentor, mate, you'd be I'm sure you are already, but like as a cracking mentor for someone at that age who, because you don't drink, you haven't gone down that route. I mean, look at where you are now. Look at you, how, you know.
You're hard as fuck. I think for Scouse lads, I think I can only speak from Liverpool, but like I always remember growing up and like someone would come in the school and you'd go, fucking, like, or even if like a teacher came in with a bad accent or something, I don't know, this is maybe just my school, but like you'd be like, who the fuck's this lad? Do you know what I mean? If there was a Scouse teacher, like you'd respect them more. It sounds so stupid, but you'd be like, I'm not giving them cheek to fucking Scouser. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
someone would come in and and same with people coming in, you'd be like, he's a fucking gimp, him. I'm not listening to what he's got to fucking say. You come in. I found with myself, like people come in, they go, Marine, he's fucking being blown up. He's like, I'm gonna listen to him. So it's give me a bit of a thing, but you coming in, definitely in schools, mate, you've got that respect already.
But I could go into probably a private school and they'd all go, who is this fella? What's he doing here? We're not like him. I don't know. Maybe not, maybe so, but...
Nah, I think it's still work.
Yeah, it's 100%, mate.
Just threaten them.
No one's fucking listening tonight, I'm having his all straight now. Nah, mate, you speak so much sense though. Within 5 minutes, mate, you'd have people hooked.
I don't feel like I'd ever... So me and my uncle have been into rehabs and spoke. We're trying to get a thing going now where we can go into a rehab where he got clean and talk to the families, not just we have done it, to the families, to the people who are also in there, but we're going to try and do it where they can bring the kids along so I can talk about how I felt towards my dad, because it's how you're going to feel now towards yours, the resentment that you're going to feel, that when you talk you can be enlightened, you can just let go. I seen the episode where you were talking about how you were talking to your dad and he was trying to, but he's stuck in his way, he's older and like, but you can talk to people, you know what I mean? You can let it go by giving it back to them and that. So that's what we're trying to set up right now. To bring the families in, the young kids who are feeling that, but it's getting them. How do you get them? Do you know what I mean?
Like, from the house into how do you get?
I wouldn't have gone at that age. It took me. I was 18 when I first went to family counselling with my alpha, and that was only because he was doing a course, getting clean, and at the end of the course meant you have to say sorry to your family. So that was a part of his course, and is what he had to do to get clean. That I actually went and then the best thing I ever done, family counselling with him. I could give the stuff back to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a tricky part.
And you and your dad close now?
Yeah, we always were, but there was times that we weren't. There was times like it was a bit mad because he was just so far in that addiction, and I always knew I had to make myself proud as well as anyone else, and if he's going to kill himself by doing this, then so be it. Last time before he got clean over 10 years ago was I weren't living with him, couldn't live with him, he was just living, it was a fucking crack then, it was just basically what it was. But the bird he was with at the time was just the crack partner, and these people in my life, and I was a bit older and I just thought I need to do right by myself, I need to keep my career on track. And anyway, he was selling gear from the house and to fund his own habit. I mean, that's wasn't that far in it. He's selling the gear to smokers gear. That's because it was easy in getting up and going out and doing what he had to do to get his money. So the bird he was with had no loyalty to him and took drugs what was in the house, but set fire to our house. You know what I mean? So fucking just for the drugs, and that's how fast she was in there stuff. So she set fire to the house. I went living with them at the time, and the house burnt down, and he went back in to get the drugs that were still in there, and burnt himself. So he ended up in the hospital, but he had no house to come home to. He'd always been like a mummy's boy. Me alpha, like it was my nana's house before his, and he didn't have that dependency. At least he had a house, so he just went straight into rehab while his house got fixed, and So that was his saviour, really. Like, he was lucky that happened to him, that he had a crazy bear around him to do that, to fucking burn the house down for fucking a few drugs. And he was lucky, and that's what saved him. Sometimes it's God's grace that fucking saves you, not yourself. Sometimes you can't save yourself, you need to hit rock bottom, and I don't even think, it's probably been dead only for that, you know what I mean? And I seen him in the hospital bed, and so covered in his burns and his hands are black, and he's off it. And that was the last time I seen him as an addict, and he went to rehab and got clean and all that, and then came back out and he's back in his house and he's living an honest life now, do you know what I mean? He's fucking...
And that's him clean now for 10 years?
10 years.
Wow.
10 years down the line, hasn't been easy. First year, anxiety, he would shake. He'd just shake with the anxiety. Fucking mad. And he's done based on proud of him, you know what I mean? But I always knew he had that in him. But it was just like fucking... When he got clean, I went to meet him in town. One day a week. We spent together at the time to build our relationship. As you say, to be always best friends. We still kept that like relationship. So one day a week, we go and play snooker. So I went to meet him in town one day, and I walked straight past him like this, because he put weight on, and he came fucking 9 stone, you know what I mean? And he's like, lads, where are you going? And so I started dancing, recognised where he put the weight on that, and it took me a while to get used to this new person, with his fucking values and honour and morals, you know what I mean? It took me a while to get used to him, but part of me does miss him on the gear, but I'd never want that for him, you know, because that was my dad. That was the dad I knew who grew up with, you know what I mean?
You sort of feel like you've got two dads type thing. You've had...
Yeah, I had the old dad and this dad, and I loved them both, but as I say, like, my childhood dad is different to my dad now.
He sounds like an incredible fella. If he can show you that love to where you can think, you know what, I loved him just as much then as I do now type thing, he must have been he must be a special dad.
He is. Yeah, mine's the best. He is. He's my idol, you know. As I said, did I say that? I never said that before.
Nah, that's me. Listen, I'm best mates with my dad. I love hearing things like that, and I also think there's no better story than hearing from someone at rock bottom and come back again, mate. They're great, those stories.
Mate, one thing I wanted to ask was is there ever have you ever felt this, or did you ever feel it, or is this an aim? Is like how much of did money play a part about this whole thing? Like, did that ever enter your mind that you see some of the big fighters, Anthony Joshua, etc., and you think, like, I need that, I want that money? Like, did that ever come into your mind, that money? Like, how much weight does that come into the whole, like, focus, or does it not at all? Or
well, I'm not gonna bullshit and say, like, I'll just tell you the truth, how I felt and how I grew up. So I grew up that the best days of our week was Wednesday, because that's when my ma got a jigger. Thursday, my half fellas got his money, and then the week went downhill from there. That was the best time of our week. We had money for one day, we got fucking shopping, we were happy with that, and then we never. That's how I grew up. So, I never felt worthy of money. So, when I first started making money as a professional, after my first professional fight, my promoter came in, my wage packet, and I was like, what's he giving me? But I wasn't even thinking along the lines of, he's now paying me, I'm getting paid for this. And I was like, oh yeah, nice one, thanks. And I looked at my coach and thinking, I've just been paid for that. I've had like 60 fights, that's my 16th fight, I've just been packet. Right, and it just blow it, because I had this belief that I need to be skinned to be hungry. Because I've always been hungry, I associated that because I've always been skinned. To me, like, never been earning. So, is that why I've always been hungry? But I realised it's not. It was just a coincidence that I was hungry and skinned. So, now I can be rich and hungry still, do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean nothing. And so I've always, like, blew me. But my first few years as a pro was just blowing it, because
it's not having the knowledge,
I
is
never
it?
had things growing up. I always wanted things that I never had, and also I had the fear in the back of my mind of making money. What will it do to me as a fighter when my real goal is to be a world champion? So it was like, just spend what you can. It was like, spend your money before you go back in camp. That's how I used to feel. Just an idiot. So, but now I've realised no, you can make money and still be hungry, don't be tired. You can still train hard if you've got money in your bank.
Mate, it's a good point though. It's a good point you raised though about that, mate. And fair play to thinking that far ahead that I don't want money because it won't, like, I mean, that fair play to you there.
What's it gonna do to the younger inside me if I do make money? If I do save me money up, what's it gonna do?
I did.
But it made me irresponsible by watching my parents and me. Very irresponsible, because that's what addiction is. You're irresponsible, aren't you? For life in general, you're just blanking out any sort of badness by masking your feelings. So I was very irresponsible because I'd never been taught responsibility and nothing like that. Do you know what I mean? So
you're so fucking wild, mate. I need to fucking book a counselling session with you once a week, mate, honestly.
I did an interview on other podcast with Barry Hearn, and he said about how even helping with boxers about money. Yeah. So about, you know, buying the house and things like that, and not getting too carried away and that sort of thing. Because I think there's a big, you know, you suddenly get a big paycheck of whatever it is, and then it's like, the heydays are here. Let's go mental. Yeah. You know, where it's a case of let's not go mental. You know
that's what I've been doing for a while. But now, recently, I've just signed a manager contract with Tony Belly, and the first thing he said to me is, we need to get you on the property market. And so, like, that's what a manager does, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not just financial, but, you know, like, to help you in life, rather than, that's what he's learned along the way.
Yeah, I think that's Barry Hearn said the exact same thing. It's like, you know, buy your house first. If you get a big win, buy the house, pay it off right, and then if all else shits, you know, if all the boxing career goes, you can stand back at the house and go, you know, boxing paid for that.
Yeah.
You know.
Especially having kids and stuff like that for people. Gets a lot harder, as you say, later on in life. You get out your job now if you're not sort of thing. You get your house now. But,
yeah.
Mate, what I was going to say then, what you talk about, the secret, and again, you seem so wise beyond your years. Where does religion come into this? Are you religious? Are you?
Yeah, I say the secret to relate to everybody, because a lot of people clam up when you say the Lord, you know, when you say God. But
so before you answer this, sorry, the reason what brought me onto it was because I got a friend who he wasn't an alcoholic, but he didn't like the person he was becoming when he was drinking, and he was drinking too much, and he was, like you said, it was leading to other things and stuff. And anyway, he now goes to Alcoholics Anonymous, and he's a very good friend of mine, and he goes once, and no one had probably known, he goes once a week. And he said to me, mate, you should have come with me one week. I just split up with my girlfriend, and I think he was scared that I'd go down the drinking and gambling route, which I'd done in the past, years ago. And he said, mate, just come this AA meeting with me. And I went, and it was one of the best things I ever did, because it was just, not that I had a problem, but it was just so, what's the word, eye-opening, just to see, you know, people in the situations that they were in. But one thing that they all done, and he's become a bit religious now,
higher power.
Yeah, and it's all very, and like I say, he's one of my best mates, and he kind of sends me like things in the morning of like the like messages from the Lord, things and stuff. And he was never ever religious, but I think going through those Alcoholics Anonymous has made him that way. And I just want to know your views on religion.
Well, it's everything to me. I've read the book. Have you read the AA book?
No.
Definitely worth a read, because you think that. I was in Spain a while ago, sparring with John O'Callaghan. He was fighting for the world title, and I'm staying in the same house as him. What are you reading there, lads? I said, the AA book, and he just looked at me and said, you got a problem? And he just burst out laughing. I said, no, it's not about that. It's actually about character defects, how you can become more responsible for your own actions in life, how you can do this, and get to the core of you, the core of your beliefs. So, like, how do you act when you get let down? You say, well, I don't know. But there's a way you act when you get let down, because you've been acting like that since you were a kid. And these are the things that you found out in the AA book. So you'll realise, once you realise, I've just been let down, be conscious and aware what your next move is. Because a lot of people used to go to the boozer and have a bevy. A lot of people used to go and have a stripe. A lot of people used to go and eat food. So mine was going to eating food because I felt that rejection. But self-harm, we do it because it's like kind of affirmation. But you learn all this when you're reading the AA book. Definitely for anyone worth a look at. But as your question was about the Lord, when my alpha got clean, I seen it as an it's just like, it was a miracle. Do you know what I mean? It's for him to be clean. It was a miracle. Still is, when I think about him now. It was a miracle to see him clean.
And what you were just like, that's got to be God, that's got to be...
No, not at that point. So he started finding higher power. So people find a way. I've got a way with I've got my own... I haven't got no religion now. I would say I was brought up a Catholic. But I've got no religion. I pray to the Lord that I know in my heart and the Lord that I've got a relationship with. So I think we all go to a church to find God, don't we? Rather than we go inside ourselves. If you're going to go and find the God, you think, where's the first place you go? You go to church. So he said to me, come to church, lad, and I was stuck in so much resentment. And I said, no, I don't want to go to church. And he said, come with me, so I did. And I just liked it, something just hit me, and then after that, I went back a few days later on my own. Never said nothing to no one, I just went back and back and back, and then that led to being in this, when you say in the soup kitchen, that was the Sisters of Mercy, just like things like that, all come off it. So I started finding my way with me spirituality, as you say, your religion, and I went to a Christian convention with the sisters. So I said to the sisters, am I alright to bring my girl along with me? So she said, yeah, we're leaving such a day at 6 a.m, be here with your girl, and you can come to the convention, the Christian convention in Birmingham. So me and my girl went in the back of the minibus. We're also like Scousers, and we're sitting in the back of the bus with like 8 nuns or something. And I was like, what's going on? You know what I mean? But we just were like, no, you see, like, it's mad, isn't it? I think that's why I can relate to people, because I'm not like away with the fairies, but I'm still scared. I'm sitting in this bus thinking, what the fuck am I doing with 8 nuns? Why am I here? So anyway, we go to this Christian convention.
At the NEC, is it? Like big convention?
Yeah, that's what it was,
NEC in Birmingham? Or, yeah.
And so there's loads of different rooms off it. So one room for this, one room for that. One was for sharing. So listen to this girl sharing. In between, people's coming on singing the song. Remember the song, Breaking the Chains about Jesus, or this big lunatic. At this time, I'm not so far into it. I can't see why these people acting like this, but this fella's, he's got these spiritual chains and then he's breaking them. I mean, my girl looking at him like, he's like a bit possessed. So this girl's on a share anyway, and it was deep and powerful. And then the song come back on, and I had this, when you say, do you know the Lord? I know the Lord because I had this, how can you say it? I've spoken about it before, and there's not many ways to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway, what happened to me. It's a bit like this been off your pipe. Hang on, let me just make something up. So mad, it's like, I seen a light. It's like the Poltergeist movie. So I seen a light, and it was the brightest light I can only describe. If you look into that light bulb, there's look at it for so long. It was the atmosphere was as bright as this light. I seen the Lord, but I've never seen nothing. I've just seen the presence of the Lord. Just pure love. That's all I can explain. Weighing of this world. That's how I know it. Weighing. Nothing away, and I hadn't had a joint on the way up if anyone was thinking. And then I come back, but it was, and I said to my girl a while after, did you see that light? And she said, what light? You know what I mean? And I was like, so I seen something come to me from the Lord, a message from the Lord come to me, and it was just pure love, and little things like that changed me along the way. So when I speak about the secret in the law of attraction, I believe my message is to pass on love. But by saying, Jesus told me to come, that can just clamp people up. But what's more important to me, that I share love. So I don't say, Jesus told me to come and tell you. What I say is the law of attraction to the universe, so people do listen, and then I can pass message of love to try and help someone, or one person at least, you know what I mean? So that's why I talk about the law of attraction, but the truth is, no, my life is for the Lord. Every day I get up, we say, so one of us in the house shouts, thank you, Jesus. And the kids be like, thank you, Jesus. And then,
really, yeah?
I said it's a knock-on effect, but it's great to start our day great. And that's.
And you still go to church every week now, or?
No, because, as I say, I'm finding my own way. I know the Lord's not in the church.
That's one thing my mate says, you know, because he started telling me all these things about and sending me all these messages about God and stuff, and I said, mate, you know what, I'm not like... Yeah. Into maybe going to church and stuff, and then I think he knew that I wasn't, and I went on a walk with him and a couple of lads, and we walked around the park in Liverpool, and he said, this is what church is, just 4 lads just talking about, you know,
communion.
Similar type of what we've been talking about today, and he said like, and it resonates so much what you're saying, because what he talks about, and it's like you don't need to go to this brick building and say thanks God.
Yeah,
you know, it's in there, and it's where you're speaking to.
Yeah, definitely. I felt like when I first started getting into it, I was going it's like going to church, just going to the phone box to phone the Lord when you've got a mobile right here. Do you know what I mean? So you can speak to the Lord here, or you can go to the phone box and phone him. Do you know what I mean? That's how I see it. Like,
that's a great analogy to be fair, isn't it?
Yeah.
I said it to my ma, she when she comes to live with us, my mum's a year clean next week. She's been living with us this year. She's doing well. She's a year clean. And she starts walking around the corner to the church to pray. But people just say to me, well, should happen. We're Catholics and we believe that. But I don't. I was like, why are you going to phone box to phone the Lord? You got a mobile in there, do you know what I mean? That's how I felt. But that's how I feel. Maybe that's how she makes her feel good, and everyone's different, you know.
Yeah. But I'm not religious, but I will say one thing is that whenever I've gone into a church, whether it's been in Italy or anywhere like that, there is this complete sense of just. It's like, I'm not saying it's like I said, I'm not religious, but whenever I walk in there, it's like just complete peace. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I think, you know, even if you're not religious, there's something about that building, I don't know what it is, that when you walk in, it's just like I've just wandered around. I left my girlfriend outside. I'm just wandering around, just in awe, you know.
Yeah, that's what led me. I later found out it's called the Holy Spirit. So you're led by call it the intuition. That's what I call it to a lot of people. It's talk about the intuition in yourself. But I call it the Holy Spirit to myself, you know what I mean? But to be sure, the people I call it the intuition or your gut feeling. But that's what I call it, the Holy Spirit. To guide you, that inner voice. It's good, it's bad, it's right, it's wrong, you know.
You know, no one really, not that it's a secret, like, but I've not really spoke about this, but when I was a kid, must have been maybe 9 or 10, I remember vaguely my mum taking me to church, and my mum started going to church, and a few times, and I went with her a few times, but she started going, and to this day I don't know why, obviously she passed away a few years later, so I always think, I wonder whether something happened with her life. But anyway, then when she did die, my dad went the complete opposite way.
Yeah.
And he was just like, how is there a fucking God? You tell me why you would take a 36-year-old woman away from her 3 kids. You tell me why there's a God. So I kind of then grew up thinking, with my dad, you know, in your house they're all shouting thank you Jesus. In my house my dad was saying, if I ever fucking see this God, I'm going to fucking knock him out. So I always think, I wonder why my mum had this couple of years of wanting to go to church, and then I've gone in my dad's, and I think now I've gone a bit more to the middle, where I'm a bit more like more spiritual, and I'm more open, and not saying I do believe in God, I'm not saying I don't, I'm just a bit more at peace with myself, to be honest, and more spiritual with myself. But I kind of, it would have been very hard to be religious in my house growing up, but that way my dad wasn't best happy with.
It was for me growing up until I got to 18. So my alpha went to the book says you need a higher power. You can call it higher power, whatever you want to call it. It could be your family, I think. You think you can even be that personal, or a reason to do something that you can. And when you say I'll do it for me kids, or like just something to give yourself the belief that your will is not good enough. You know, you look what you've done in the past, you've fucked yourself up. Your will alone will destroy you as it has. Look, you're at rock bottom to even pick up the book or to even go to the meeting. You're at rock bottom already. So this higher power is dependent on something else rather than on your will, because your will has a track record of fucking everything up. So that's what the higher power is. It's not necessarily religion, it could be anything, but a lot of people do choose religion. A lot of people walk out to meetings because they say, I can't believe in that shit, you know what I mean? So each to their own, innit? You're never going to believe in someone else's beliefs. I don't believe anyway, or you can't maintain them. I don't know.
And did your missus come on board with it as well, did she, like you did?
Yeah, well, she said to me, I met her when I was 20, I think I was 20 when I met her, and she had a son already. She said she used to go on her own. She used to try and go on her own, so when she met me, she said that was something she liked about me, and she liked to go into it more and more, so she started coming to church with me. The time I was going to church, you know, that was our weekly thing. For a few years I was in camp, I'd only see her weekends, and then we'd go to church, and that was the end of the weekend. But
I also think maybe you're saying about going into schools, I think people listening to you talk like that would make people be a bit more open and honest, I reckon.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's a cool thing, is it, to say?
He said, fuck, at these many years I wouldn't say what I'm saying now.
Yeah.
I've come at peace with myself, and I'm not talking to like all them people who are probably laughing at me now. Knock yourself if you laugh at me now. No, I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to that one person. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm talking to that one person who is gonna get out from me. That's who I talk to now. Because I know anyone who doesn't want to listen to, I don't have to.
Yeah, that's the thing. When I do my talks, I always kind of think, you know what, fucking 99% of people could think I'm a knobhead, but if 1% of people go, you know what, I'm going to go home and I'm going to sort what I need to sort out because of him, I think, job done.
Yeah, that helps. You know, you've helped one person, it's worth more than half helping a million, innit?
Yeah.
That reach through helping you help someone, I think.
Someone said something the other a quote which was really, it was like, you've got 65,000 seconds in a day. If someone let you down, why waste all those 665,000 seconds? Because they compared it to, if you've got £65,000 in your bank account and you lost £10, you wouldn't spend the rest of your day
thinking about
it. Yeah, I thought that was quite good actually. I'll get it up.
Talking about, mate, wasting seconds and stuff, just going back into your routine a sec, you mentioned before about running at like 4 a.m. What's your kind of, so you're 6 weeks out to fight now?
8
8.
Now. Yeah.
12th of July, isn't it?
Yeah.
What, and where are you fighting for that?
The Olympia, yeah.
In the Olympia?
Yeah.
So what's your kind of routine now, as in getting up in the morning?
Just right now, it's just getting up for the school run. 8 o'clock, taking my dad to school and then going to the gym. But starting next week, because I'm under the routine with my coach, and
is Derry Matthews?
Derry and Georgie Vaughan, who was his coach. Georgie wants me to run at 6 on the hills, so I'll be up and down Everton Hills 3 times on each 7 hills. And then the gym at 12 and then starting condition at 4. I've now started to work with the John Moores University. Carl Evans, I'm lucky really to be in that because it's like this. I think it's the 6th best sports science university in the whole world, so I'm very lucky to be. Jerry knew him and he got me in there, and he's helping me through it. So I'm lucky to be in that situation. And they do your body fat, so they tell you what your fat is, and then they put you under the machine. Your RMR, have you seen it? Your resting metabolic rate. So it tells you what you lose per day in calories. So do you know your body fat? Do you know what you're going to lose in a day of calories? And do you know how fit you are by putting you on this machine? You just run till you drop.
I've been on one of them, sorry. Yeah, I have been on one of them. Yeah, good, yeah.
When I say good, it's hard.
It's your VO2 max and all that, isn't it?
So get all that information. So they tell you what you need to eat. Protein, carbs and fats per day. Space between how many meals over 10 weeks for you to make the weight. Wow. So I've stuck to it before.
I'm surprised you're not like, lad, I know what I'm eating for the past 11 years. Lad, you don't need to tell me.
Yeah. Step aside is the diary.
So that's what they tell you. So I'm just following their routine as well. So it's boss.
And what's your favourite and your worst part of then the next of camp? Well, the next 8 weeks.
It's like I've got 3 kids, so it's like the guilt of leaving them when. So like me little girl says now, like, oh, you going to the gym, lads? Oh, no, you know, like, when I went to America a while ago, nothing was happening over here. I went to America for 8 weeks, and it's for a lot of people, but it's just let's talk truth, we'll be out there shagging all sorts, sniffing all sorts, enjoying themselves on South Beach. I was on South Beach in a hostel, thinking I just want to get home to my family, you know. My kids, FaceTime, just killing me, it's killing them. So it left me little girl with a bit of, you could tell, it put her in a place where it's like, where are you going? Every time I go to the door, I'm just going to the shop. Just going to the shop. Can I come in just to be sure? You know what I mean? So like the guilt.
How old your little girl?
4. Me lad's 3. He's a bit all over the place.
Mate,
my stepson, he's 11 yesterday. So it's like it left them with a lot of, but maybe masks of like abandonment issues, you know what I mean? That's how, so left them with it. So the guilt of just leaving them downstairs, while even on only going upstairs, the guilt is the worst thing for me. The dieting's hard, but it's nothing compared to the guilt, is it? Like, you can't get that time back. So that's why I make sure it works out for us all, because I'm not getting that time back that I could have spent. So I'm doing things and I'm like, I'm not going to fuck this up, because I could be actually having quality time with kids and that. So,
And what's the
that's
best
hardest
thing?
The best thing is like coming home after the fight, putting a belt on my bed. We love that, you know what I mean? We've got a great relationship with best mates, and come home to her and put the belt on her. It's just nice, you know what I mean? That's one of my motivations. I love to come home, put the belt on her first, and like, and just to then spend the time with the kids and chill out and eat nice food with them, just have quality time, you know what I mean? But it's like I'm playing catch up because of all the time in camp. It's like I'm playing catch up to get the time with the kids to prove to them I do love you and I want to spend time with you, because they don't understand, do they? They get what they see. I get time with my dad or I don't. That's it. I've got my own bedroom in the house. Can I sleep with daddy tonight? No, you can't. He's in camp for 8 weeks. It's a long time for the kids, you know. So it's like I play catch up as best as I can. I go and play football with my lad and then spend time with the 2 kids. Bring the little me girl to the gym with me after school. She loves to come to the gym, just spend time with me when I'm out of camp. So at times play catch up, but it's always a balance in my balance, you know. That's the best part. Spend time with the kids. I'm not having time with the kids.
It's the worst part.
But then the worst part is not eating, and the second best part is eating. Kids and food. My family and food. That's basically what it is for me.
Mate, does the fear ever like come into your mind then? Like, does it come in sort of like a week before as it starts to get a little bit? Does it edge up a little bit more every day it gets closer, or is it not like
the fear of
the fight?
Fuck me having a fight.
No. Well,
Fear of what, mate?
No, I thought you meant like the fear of losing or the fear
No,
of...
just like that.
Mate,
Fear of the
before
fight.
you answer that, the fact that you didn't even know what he was referring to, I knew straight away, mate, what that feeling everyone's had it, whoever's listening, that feeling of having a fight when you're in school was fucking horrible.
Yeah, but it's 2 different fights indeed. There's the fight that you're talking to, bang, and then there's the fight that the pre-anticipation I'll meet you at 3 o'clock.
That one, yeah, that's the one I'm on about.
That's the worst one, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember this lad, right? I'm mates with him now. Well, I've not seen him for years, but...
You say that, you know, like easy.
I know, yeah.
That camera.
Yeah, Michael Anderson. No, Shirley, no, we're mates. And, yeah, I've just not spoke to him in years, but no, we were mates. But at the time, I always remember my dad saying to me, you know, first day in school or whatever, don't let anyone, you know, speak to you like shit or something. And I was in the dinner queue, and this lad just jumps in front of me, and I said, and he's fucking well bigger than me, and I went, lad, what are you doing? Fucking, you're not jumping in there. He said, yeah, I am. I said, no, you're not, move. He said, no, I'm standing here. And I said, okay, well, I want you to straighten it then. And he said, sound, after our dinner, I'll meet you on the backfield. And I said, right, okay. And then he carried on standing there. I carried on standing there. We went in there to our dinner. And then I walked over to all my mates. He walked over to all his mates. And I went, I'm going to have a straightener in a minute. And the lads were like, oh, who, where? And I said, well, some lad tried to jump in front of me at the queue and I'm going to go and have my straightener. And for that, like, just hour of dinner, I was like,
you don't want to eat anymore.
I could just imagine, like, knowing, like, you know, you're going to go and have a fight in 8 weeks. Like, is it not that same kind of...
As I was talking before about learning to love something that you don't like, no one likes that, do they? I remember turning up for my first fight, because I'd only been in the gym a month before I had my first amateur fight, so I went as a straightener, more than because it was all I knew to get through what I had to get through. So the pre-anticipation, I had to find a way to love that, because I couldn't live with not liking it. So I flipped it on its head, and I used positive things like... this will bring the best out of me. This is me at my best. This is me at my most alert. This is me shining in front of everyone. This is my night. So I love that now, because that's all I think about. All the goodness, rather than that. And
that's a great way of coping with anxiety.
With anything, you've got to learn to love the things you don't like. That's what I believe. So, but I only get this moment once, every now and again. And when I go home, I was saying before, and they say, what now? I do actually say on the edge of the bed, what now? Well, who's my next fight? What am I going to fight now? So it's like I enjoy it and make the most of it. The last time I fought a few weeks ago, it was like I was waiting there on the you know, when the sun comes on the ring walk. And I thought, I'm not going. I'm not moving. I let the sun kick, and what was the world champion doing? You're fucking waiting here now still. So, and I'm thinking, people are going to be getting off. People are going to be getting off in a minute. It's not that, like, no one's asked. So in the end I went. But yeah, I build it up as a good thing, because it can be done, because it has been done. No one likes that feeling at the start, but if you learn to love the things you don't like, you love everything, don't you? Is that kind of happy happening with everything? I don't know, but I'll just find a positive outlook on it, on everything, because I'm only enjoying my life.
You say that, mate, but when you not to bring a negative into it, I'm more fascinated with your mindset. When you broke your jaw,
Yeah.
and you were out for, what was it, 6 months, was it something?
6, yeah. But you said, you know,
Where did you find the positive in that?
that was tough. That was tough because you had nothing to fight. The fight become not opponents, but little everyday things in life. I chose to fight, but it was mad because I was eating. I was sucking hard food as a way of like fighting against the broken jaw, if that makes sense. I couldn't accept it. It was hard to accept. The doctor came in after it, you know, when they see if you're alright in there. I was like, what are you doing? I'm sucking this food. Go off. And I suck like biscuits and that, just so I never have to say. I weren't thinking through a straw, but it's just mad, just like little things I was fighting, training on the sly. But you step off a curb with a broken jaw and you think it's fell off and that. It's
Really?
like,
Is that bad? Yeah.
yeah, it shoots up your end. You're like, what the fuck is my jaw? At one point I was thinking I was older going to jaw still. I'm on Vauxhall Road. My fucking jaw on.
It's making my mouth feel weird.
So,
How bad of a break was it then?
it broke there and there. It's got a plate in there and there. My uncle asked me after the fight, what's it like? I was just angry. Just grabbed it. I was just moving. And he goes, all right.
Did you know straight away when you
Yeah, I felt it break off. But it's mad because I didn't feel no pain instantly. But I felt break. Like at the same time I felt. And you can't suck it up. You think no one uses suction to like suck through a straw. You've got no suction. So your jaw just dangles. You can't say, right, I'll hold it up so we can't look, because it's just, so he jabbed me and it was just like he pushed me chin into me neck. I was like, oh, okay, it's getting a bit bad now. So getting shooting pains behind my eyes, and I was thinking, that can't be good, that.
So hang on, so he's broke your jaw and the fight carried on for a bit?
Well, to the end of that round, but it was early in the round. But I don't think he knew. But I was swallowing the blood and that's why he didn't know. It's just fucking the way. And so after the I got pulled out that fight. The end of that round.
Was this for the world title, was it?
The world title, yeah. And then, so as I say, build myself back up. Just little things like training on the sly, going to spinning because they weren't no like pounding, anything I could just to train and to not accept that I was the victim. Once again, as I felt as a kid, I will not accept I'm the victim. You know, that victim mentality. I have to make a positive out of every situation. And what I took mostly out of it is I got the time with my family because I knew I couldn't fight. I got family time, you know what I mean? But about 4 or 5 months in, I convinced my coaches that it was alright because I wanted to spar that bad. And something went in it again, and it went for another like 2 months, but I got injured again. I never said nothing to no one, told it's a bit bad now, but I knew, fucking hell, so I need to go to the Aussie day, but I just refused to go to what I'd just been up until the 4 or 5 months, up until then. But it was constant little everyday battles. But that was a good time for me. My career slowed down massively after that. Because when I first fight back, no warm-up fight, I lost the British title. It was just like a stupid losses until I lost it. Ended by an egg clash. I was the British champion at the time. Ended with an egg clash. He got cut. But he was like 2 or 3 rounds up on the scorecards going into the 10th. So, but he was tired, so he got out with the belt. It was like I felt robbed. But it was just like, oh, fuck off, what now? So my career slowed down. And when you've got the belt, everyone wants a shot at you. But when you haven't got the belt, no one needs you. If you can fight, if you're good. So I went from a position as right, at least I've got title shots and title defences. But then it was like no one wants to fight me because I've had three losses on my record and I can fight and I'm a risk. So who wants to fight me? No one. So I went out to Miami, as I was saying there before. I went out to Miami, had that experience. And when I come home for Christmas with the kids. I've boxed in the Dominican Republic when I was out there. And come home for Christmas. I signed, when I went to the 50th gym, I went out to the 50th gym the year before, it was good. So my half I went to the NA World Convention. No, the Narcotics Anonymous, in these are my half keerings here. The NA, multiple years, clean as serene. So he went to the World Convention and spoke in front of 40,000 people. And so like that's like proud of me. So someone said to him, I'm not going, I'm jumping off the oldie, I can't go. Tommy, thanks for your ticket, Tommy. So I said, I'll have it, and I'll go down to Miami and get some sparring while my alpha is in Orlando at the World Convention. So a few days later, I went down to Miami, trained in the gym, sparring with everyone there, and they said, would you like to fight here? And I said, yeah, I'd love to. It's where Muhammad Ali trains at Sugar Ray Leonard's, just one of the most, like, one of the best gyms in the world. It was like an honour, you know what I mean? Would you like to fight for the 50th? Of course I would. So went home, went back, done the 8 weeks there, had a fight with them in Dominican Republic. That was a mad experience. And then went back home, and for the Christmas, I had the Christmas with the kids, and just before I was about to go out, I'll be there now, if this hadn't happened. I got offered, there's a show in Liverpool, would you like to headline it? And I hadn't fought in Liverpool for 3 years, so I said, yeah, I'd love to. So my last fight was for the Commonwealth title eliminator, top of the bill, and that's led to now this one, the IBF European title fight. And so that's where I am now. I'm mandatory for the Commonwealth title and fighting for the IBF European title, so I'm not far off a world title again. But that's just boxing, you've got to stick with it, and that's life, innit?
Yeah.
That's life, you never know, you know what I mean? That's just life. You've just got to stick with it, and that one more mentality put me in this position of me alpha fella. How it comes full circle. Now he's clean, I'm going to World Convention with him, and now 1 more day has put me back in title contention. It's just fucking crazy. I love it. I fucking love it. It's just, boxing's a funny game, but you've got to stay positive, because there's that many people in the game who just take out the pot. No one wants to give back, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Professional boxing, amateur boxing's different. People are giving the time to help the kids every day, but professional boxing, everyone's taking out of the pot, but no one wants to put in.
We were in the gym on Wednesday, and I went to one of the lads, Joe. He trains a few lads, and I said, because I'm fit, I'm a fit lad, but boxing wise, like, you know, not done anything. And what I meant was, will he take me on the pads and teach me properly? I went, but this lad's, he's a fucking hard lad, you know what I mean? He's sitting there, and he commented on me, he went, oh mate, you're flying there, aren't you? Because he must have been watching the circuit I was doing. And I said, yeah lad, I'm feeling fit, but I'd love to get in the ring and do it. But I said, do you fancy a spar one time? But I meant, him take me on the pads, and I went, would you have a spar one time? And he looked at me and he went, like, if you want to, like, I will, like. But I thought, that's a bit of a shit, like, why is he being a bit thing? And then I went,
Is Joe McNally, is it?
Yeah. Do you know him?
Yeah.
So I went, because he's trained, who's he training at the minute, Marcus?
He's got a great camp going at the minute, he's David Price.
Well, I seen Price, I was in with Pricey this morning. And so anyway, and I went to him, and he looked at me and I went, and I thought, he's looked at me a bit weird there, and I went, yeah, you know, just like, thingy. And he went, I'll be honest, I don't hold back, you know, like, and I'm thinking, what the fuck's he on about here? And I went, oh, hang on, I don't mean spat, lad, I mean, will you mind taking me on the pads? And he went, oh, yeah, of course, lad, I will, yeah. And he's laughing, like, but I was thinking, God, imagine me getting ready to and he fucking put a thing. I got fucking battered. Yeah, so I'm starting my little boxing career this week, like, with him now. Are you
going to go on the pads?
Yeah, he's going to take me on the pads, yeah. Yeah, so I'm in there every day anyway, and you see, I can see him. Is it what's his name? Malloy, is it Marcus? Malloy or something?
I think he is saying, bro.
Yeah. He's just about to, maybe, I think, and he trains him, yeah. And I think, yes.
Got a few good lads in there.
Pricey was in there this morning.
Craig Glover, he's a good fighter, really good fighter.
Yeah, so just seeing all the lads in there, I thought I wouldn't mind having a go on the pads. So, yeah.
Boys nearly ended up sparring.
Okay, now.
Yeah. You got any more questions?
Mate,
I'm booking him weekly coffees with you, mate, just to talk about life.
Mate, honestly, look, I feel great after all the podcasts I do, because we get some cracking stuff. But mate, you're like, without, you know, blowing smoke up your ass, but like your attitude and like your laugh as well, mate, is fucking infectious as anything. So honestly, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure. It really has.
And I think
we're not stopping it.
All right, look. Mate, it's like the blanket. We're at the 2 hour mark already now.
Mate,
Have we
yeah,
here 2 hours?
2 hours. Yeah.
I think, mate, the fact as well, not only, like I say, I from nearly 10 years ago when I first knew of you, that just says a lot about you, mate. You made a last impression on me on a documentary scene about you nearly 10 years ago. 10 years later, you've still got people messaging you, talking about you behind your back, saying you need to speak to Jazza. He's a fucking lovely lad. And I think, like, what a nice thing to have. 10 years apart, and people have still got the same message going. You know,
Thank you.
You need to come and speak to this lad. And like Tom's right, mate. You're infectious. Your personality, your attitude in life. I think, mate, the world would be a better place if more people had the resilience and just the kind of fucking hell. We've got to laugh about it and get on with it.
Yeah, man.
So, mate, thanks for giving up your time.
Yeah, really. Mate,
Can I ask you a question? What I always ask, because I'm curious right now. What do you think of the knife crime? What started the knife crime? Because it weren't always like this, was it? Was it always like this where you?
I don't think. Yeah, I'm from Bootle. Yeah, no, I don't think it was ever like this. No. Yeah, well, the reason I know it wasn't always like this. I remember being a kid. I was about 10. I was in Bootle Strand, and there was a lad. I won't even say his name, but there was a lad, and he had one of those names. You knew he was a fucking lad or a nutcase. Wasn't necessarily hard lad, but he was just mad. Do you know what I mean?
His nickname was Looney.
Yeah, one of them lads. And I was walking through with my best mate, and I fucking hate myself for this because I was a fucking shithouse. And anyway, seeing this lad, I was about 10, and he looked at me, and I was just walking down in the shopping centre, and this lad said, "What are you looking at?" And I looked up. I wasn't even looking at him like in that way, and I knew it was this fucking psycho. And I went nothing. And he went, "You are? What the fuck are you looking at?" And I just kept my head down and tried to like walk away. And he come up and just sparked me. And he was, I would have battered him as well. Like, I know I would have battered him. But because of his name and his reputation, I thought, oh, fuck, I'm not like... And he just hit me once. And then some woman went, "Oh, you!" And he ran away or something. And but you compare that to now, you think he probably would have stabbed me now. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that was like the local fucking psycho then. And you only got punched. Whereas now... It's fucking scary, mate, innit? It's like so... And I don't know what it is. I wish I had an answer or...
Yeah, no, I don't know whether it's snowballed or...
It's definitely worse because, for that example alone, people would be stabbing you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not educated enough to speak on any like statistics or anything like that, but I always feel sometimes that, especially when the media, all right, statistics have gone up, haven't they? But I think sometimes when the media latch on to things, it's suddenly...
Maybe more awareness now.
Yeah, more awareness, and it just feels like there's... that because the media are talking about it more, we're all talking about it more, we feel it's a bigger problem. And look, it is a problem, and it's probably...
If we stop talking about it, knife crime will go down?
Well, no, I doubt it, mate.
No, but we'll have to come on to this then in a second then, because that's one... You know about racism... You say it's getting worse, and I'm not saying this is the way forward because I'm against racism, but it's like, what would happen if you just stopped reporting about it?
I've thought that, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't give a fuck what people think because it's my honest opinion. I'm not a racist, but I don't know anyone who's been fucking treated like a slave, and I know a lot of people who still go on about it. And maybe that's they feel like they have to, but I've never met anyone who's been a slave. I've never met no slaves. But people still talking about it. Why don't we just move on?
Yeah.
No one's a racist. People might be, but let them be. You know what I mean? Let them be idiots. But I don't see no racism.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it's like
stop talking about it.
It's one of those things, isn't it? It's like if you keep on talking about what happened in the past, it's like, for example, Hitler and the Holocaust and stuff. If you keep on ramming that down people's throats all the time, it's gonna be brought up and it's more thing. If you
the thing is with that though, it's an awareness though, isn't it, of like what the more not to race it, but with hit,
you can't even talk about it, can you? Because you're upset. You know what I mean?
Mate, it's making me feel uneasy talking about it on a podcast. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like with that Hitler thing, that's more a case, I think, of just that awareness of what humanity can do and how fucked up it can get when
slave trade, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah. No, it's all I
think it's a good debate as well because it's like how much is awareness and how much is leave it in the past.
Yeah, I'm not racist, so I can say what I want, and that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
That proves exactly.
And that's the thing. When you're not racist or you're not homophobic or you can speak openly, and that's all good. It's because it's spoken about so much sometimes, and maybe people are trying to make awareness of it. People then take things in a different way and then are offended by different things, and then that's when it becomes all this bigger problem that maybe it actually isn't.
Yeah, and then it becomes if you do this X, Y, and Z, that means you are this. Like, it becomes an almost like So if you talk about gay people in a certain way, as it has been in the past, and that was wrong, if you say this in a certain way, that means now you're this. I mean, you're labelled for something that you've said, which could have meant anything. But because you said it, and because the last person who did say it, he was a homophobe, now you're the same as him.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah. And I think also, mate, a big thing on that, which is similar to, I think it's the similar point you're trying to make, like language can be very misleading. For example, if I was brought up in a certain way with a certain language that you maybe you shouldn't say now, that doesn't mean I feel the same feelings that language once meant. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, I'm old enough and wise enough now to realise what's right and what's wrong. If I say a word that I learned when I was a kid, that doesn't mean I'm this now. And I think that happens a lot as well.
Yeah.
People say things that they fucking, never meant any offence.
Well,
But
I was in a gym and someone said the other day, someone went, I was speaking to this coloured lad and I went, you can't say that, you know what I mean? But he never knew. He just something from back, it weren't the wrong thing to say, I don't think, when he was a child. It was just how he'd been brought up, you know what I mean? But I know what you're saying by that, because I'm not saying that you said that, but
there's loads of words. So I remember I used to say all the time, or if you'd see someone that was mate, you'd say, "Oh, half caste lad." Yeah. And you're not allowed, like, you don't say that no more, do you? I've not heard anyone.
No.
I don't know. I didn't think you were allowed to. I don't know. It's things like that. Like
Or like retard. No one says that. You can't say that, can you?
Can you not?
No.
And what does retard stand for? What is it? Like, what is it?
Well, I used to hear it a lot. Not that I'm old or anything, but I used to hear it a lot when I was like early teens, and look, people still say it. People still say it all, but I feel like it's just maybe it's because I'm old. Frowned, yeah.
But bastard means you haven't got a dad, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But what does retard mean? Know what I mean?
Well, I suppose it can mean any disability
slow,
or
like a
like
handicap.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Because I've said retard people who never knew what it meant, like you're saying.
You know what weird?
You're stupid, you
know what weird makes me laugh, and I don't know whether you're allowed to say it or what, but the word nonce gets used a lot, doesn't it? It does in my vocab anyway. People I hang around anyway, it gets called
I've been sitting here trying to prove to people I'm not a racist or a homophobe, but now I'm going to prove I'm not a dad.
Well, going back onto all that though, and you touched on a bit there, Tom, the media, and I've got first-hand experience this. Without doubt, the media does play a massive part in the whole knife thing and violence thing, and a lot of the time it's bullshit because, right, you speak to most people and they think Pablo Escobar was this fucking legendary fucking character, right, and all that, and he was this Robin Hood who robbed from the fucking rich and all that. And anyway, I went to Colombia. I went travelling and went round there, went to Medellin, where he was from, where Narcos was filmed. Went and visited Pablo Escobar's grave. I went to his holiday home. I heard all about him. Let me tell anyone who's listening, Pablo Escobar is hated in Colombia.
Is he? Yeah?
He is fucking hated. No one likes him. There is probably a handful of maybe 100 people that like him because he built them all a house. 100 people, that's it. They all fucking hate him because of the death and destruction he created in Medellin.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But because of programs like Narcos and all the stuff on cocaine and stuff, it's fucking cool, isn't it? It's like, oh, fucking, having some of this.
A guy from a what do you call it? Favelas come all the way
and fuck all, and now he's on the Times.
He was on the Forbes fucking rich list, wasn't he? Yeah, he was like 50th or something in the world.
And what was his occupation? Like, you know what I mean? You can't say
oh, no, he was like a landlord or something, business owner. He owned a football team and stuff, didn't he?
Didn't he run a taxi firm?
Yeah, he's done all kinds.
The taxi firms.
They're still running off Pablo's money.
But the funny thing is, mate, if you hear anyone and they're like, they take coke and they try and justify coke or something, Pablo Escobar never had one line of coke in his life. No.
He smoked a bit of weed, didn't he?
He smoked weed, and his favourite beer was Heineken. But he said he'd never ever touch fucking coke. He said it's the fucking stupidest thing in the world to do. He used to joke and say, he used to joke and say, it's just fucking what are you doing? Like, he fucking take the piss about it. And do you know what I mean? And honestly, he's fucking made billions off it. And so you hear all these stories and stuff, and everyone thinks he's so cool and all this, and that obviously then has an impact on people in the UK, people in America, around the world. That coke's okay, and Pablo Escobar's this legend, and everyone loves him. No one fucking loves him, believe me.
I remember.
Mate, he was, sorry to interrupt then. He was listed. I don't know why TV's. I think it's gone off. But Escobar made the Forbes list of international billionaires for 7 years straight, from 1987 until 1993. In 1989, he was listed as the 7th richest man in the world.
Wow.
There's a thing, right? In Colombia, you go to his grave, and people have a line of Charlie off his grave. That's like a thing to do.
Yeah.
Honestly. So me and my missus, we had a guided tour.
He's still selling it from his grave.
He's the best drug dealer in the world. That's our Lord sprinkling the tile to his grave. Honestly, though, mate, we had a tour, and it was his old bodyguard was giving us a tour, like, and again, even like the gangster lifestyle, he's saying it was fucking horrible. Like, it was. He was honest. He said for about 6 months a year, he said it was great, like all the parties they had and stuff. But he said, for the other fucking 20 years, whatever, you're on the run, and it's shit, and it's this, and it's that, and it's nowhere near as good as you think, and it was, you can't trust anyone, and this and that, but you look at the movies and the documentaries, and everyone's like, oh, I want to fucking, I want to sell drugs, I want to be cool, I want to be this, I want to.
I remember I don't know, obviously I don't remember Charlie, but I remember it must have been early 2000s, like, it got a bit of a good reputation, and as I was saying, I was watching it from the other side. We weren't that far away from the gear in my eyes, because Crack and Charlie the same thing, and gear and Crack was this similar. So I remember thinking, why has everyone got this idea that it's cool? Because I'm coming from a place of addiction, watching the reputation smackheads they get called less than human, you know what I mean? Fucking smackhead. But that used to kill me, that. Anytime I was arguing with someone, I never get, when like it's time to throw fists, someone was like, you fucking smackhead. But I didn't know what it's saying otherwise, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then when it starts arguing with one of the lads, you fucking smackhead. So, but then, like, Charlie was cool. And I used to be sitting thinking, fucking hell, isn't this the same thing? But everyone's cool for this, and then for this, the rats, you know?
It used to drive me fucking mad when people would say it was the rich man's drug, and I'd go, we're in a shitty little pub in Bootle, and you're fucking snorting it in a shitty little bog in Bootle. This is not a rich man's drug, believe me. Believe me.
Yeah, there's no cocaine off prostitutes' breasts and parting.
No.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so linking that to fucking knife crime, though.
Turns out to be the poor man's drug.
Yeah, do you know what I mean, though? But
yeah, like, I think that was one of the reasons. I think that generation that came through from the gear, from everyone was watching your man telling Alpino, he didn't even know what it was at the time. So
jockey.
He didn't even know what it was at the time, but then that came along, and people doing different things, weren't they, to get the drugs, and one of them being violence. Like, that's one of my beliefs, is that's what that could have been one of the factors in the knife crime.
Yeah, and also, maybe, which maybe getting a bit deeper into it, but we spoke about on the last podcast about people just want everything straight away. And you're in a sport now, as where you fucking worked hard all your life from teens to be a professional boxer. You fucking, you know, it's an art, it's a craft, what you do. If people are having problems on the streets now, I'm not going to go into a boxing gym and train for fucking a year and look after myself, but I can go in the fucking kitchen and get a knife. Yeah. It's that quick fix, isn't it? People aren't prepared to put in the work to be able to look after themselves. People just want that quick respect and that quick money and that quick. No one wants to actually go and sit down and go, right, I want to be able to look after myself. If there's ever a problem, I need to go and get fit, I need to learn how to throw a punch, I need to learn how to defend myself. People just fucking ring up a mate, lad, have you got a fucking knife I can borrow, or a gun, or a what?
Goes deeper as well, doesn't it? Because do you even have the time to teach your kids how to look after themselves? You know what I mean? Everyone wants their own. Like, you can't stab Billy because you know Billy's alpha and his ma and his nan. They all live in the same area, but now everyone wants their own house, in their own driveway, in their own area. Community's gone as well, hasn't it? You have that respect, so you can not have the fear of that guilt of that you've just ruined half a community when you've just done that. You know what I mean? You've just upset that family that you knew, and now your name's blacklisted in the area. That's gone as well, hasn't it? And it's like a kid's getting taught, his school's getting taught how to defend himself. They're not. They're getting taught how to. Well, they're getting taught much. I don't know.
I never thought of it like that. Yeah, you're a stone's throw. Once you move, you're away, then, aren't you? You don't see that impact every single day.
It's gone, eh? It's not your problem anymore. But you can't even walk to the shop years ago, could you? Without someone going, there's looking very good as a knife. There's, you know, there's that rat. That's what it would be, wouldn't it? There's that rat.
Someone got killed by mine with a fucking crossbow the other day. You think, like, what baffles me is, what situation are you in where you think, hang on, I want to go and get my crossbow? You know what I mean? What type of altercation do you go, hang on a minute, you fucking hang right there, I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think it's a mixture. Obviously it's a much bigger kind of conversation, but I think it's a mix of drugs and people getting caught up in the wrong things and thinking things are going to be easier if I take this shortcut, and it's just not the answer, unfortunately.
No.
That's why, mate, you need to win your world title, mate, then retire and then start a hub.
Yeah.
And save the world, Jazza.
You can come in as well.
I'll come and help you, lad.
Can we do a podcast there?
Yeah, the kids can all just do podcasts, share the feelings and blame the parents. There'll be more fucked up back in the future, won't it?
Mate, I think
It's good to talk about it, though.
Yeah.
It's got to be a point though, Andy, when the media just say, look, that's it, no, we need to just not give the attention to, maybe, like, even the terrorists. Not like you stop putting them on ITV News at night.
Yeah, mate.
Even blow places up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you look at when it happened in New Zealand and how many people shared that Facebook Live video that guy took and stuff like that, and then it was fucking everywhere. And then I think WhatsApp and Facebook did then try and, I think they did block it from people sharing it and stuff like that, because it was going fucking everywhere.
But you know those girls, those ISIS brides that went to fight in Syria,
Want to come home?
and they want to come home, one was pregnant. If the media didn't put up all these stories about everyone going there, no one would fucking wake up and go, oh yeah, I might go to fucking Syria next week, would they?
Of course.
Because all these, don't get me wrong, there is all these chat rooms and stuff that do it themselves, but mainstream media and social media, if it's not fucking rammed down your throat, people wouldn't be thinking, oh, I might go to Syria and fight the fight.
Of course. Should they be allowed home? Well,
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think the same, but then I'm trying not to have an opinion, because no one needs to talk about people should have, a lot of people should believe the death penalty for something that you've done really bad. But they say, but a lot of them people wouldn't actually pull a lever, would they? And switch the lights out. So it's like, I'm trying not to have an opinion.
Yeah, the death penalty's tricky though, isn't it? It's like the thing that always, you know, does it work, does it not? You only have to look in the States. You know, does the death penalty work? You know, people are still being murdered, aren't they? And look, I don't. Yeah, it's a difficult topic, isn't it?
I'll be astonished if anyone still listens to this now.
Mate, just before we go, anyway, where can people buy tickets anyway for on July the 12th still?
Yeah,
or is it,
Where's it better to get them from then?
Come down and see me at the gym.
Yeah.
I train in Derry's gym.
Where is that?
Addison Way, L3 to EW. To promotion. Well, have me on social media and then just message me and then...
Yeah, we'll tag it in. I know it sounds silly, don't it? But I know with that book, if people buy the book from me directly, it's better for me. So I'm just thinking if people can... so
come down. It's it.
Yeah. And what date is it again?
12th of July.
Okay.
It's a good bill as well. Martin Murray's fighting on it. Rocky Fielding. Loads of other. Who else? Craig Glover. The lads he was in the gym with you. Good bill. Really good bill.
And then we'll put links, but what's your Instagram then?
Jazza Dickens 10.
Perfect, I'll put it in the description.
Promotion.
Nah, you know,
Mate, it's good you need to, yeah.
You know what you've done though, and I think people will agree who's listening. Every podcast I do, I always go and ask about that, and we done one with Jamie Webster last night, so it'll be like the week before, and that was brilliant. And I'm just thinking, it's going to need some top in this, but fuck me, I've loved it. Genuinely, mate, I've absolutely loved it. It's been brilliant, mate. Right up there. If not the most enjoyable one. I've laughed, I think, more on this one.
Thanks for having me. And why I'm here as well, because when I was watching it, Tony was telling me all about it, and I'm watching it, I actually am thinking that's going to go farther, and I'd love to be on it now, whilst before it does, so...
Well, mate, I'll be like, we've had fucking world champions on this in a few months' time, do you know what I mean?
I'll be out there knocking on that one. Get back on.
Jazzy, you've been a star, mate.
Yeah,
Thanks
mate,
very
thank
much.
you so much. Honestly, it's been a pleasure. Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah.